I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back.
Cooling down some, but it feels pretty fucking warm.
I got the cash in the bag.
That's my new intro, folks, because I've been getting pegged for using the Tom McDonald one.
Was that Stump?
It looked like Stump.
It sure did, didn't it?
I thought, right away, I went, that's got to be Stump.
We were chatting years ago, and his phone overheated and made him all digitalized like that. Hey, 2ATVs. It was pretty cool. I told him I'd use it someday.
Where did Stump go?
He dropped out like normal. Good night, Stump. What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday. Mr. Mike DeLucia, off the deathbed. Glad to see you up.
Thank you.
Let us know if you get dizzy. You need to put your head down for a minute.
I will. If I do I have Susie and Salisha for a little, and Gunpowder for a little, maybe a little mouth to mouth?
I'm there for you, Mike.
No, I'm good. Let me die, bitch. Let me die.
Awesome.
Thanks, Ohio.
Thank you.
Miss Shalisa, Shell, and Steve, what's up? The Fatwood King and Queen.
Shut up.
Shut up.
You
No.
guys worked good together.
We'll have to work on a staffy thing for him, too.
Two people.
In a robe, of course. Remember the old robe?
Get back to your rundown.
Mr. Ohio Wolverine, what's up, brother?
How's it going?
Yeah, better than it's going better for me than it is for CRS. Just saying.
Yeah. Are we gonna talk about a little bit of that tonight, or
Yeah, we'll bring it up. Miss Gunpowder Beauty, what's happening, girl?
What's happening?
Hello, beautiful.
Hello.
Speaking of beautiful, where's the other beautiful?
he already introduced me?
Where's Dick?
Was Dish Outdoors?
Oh my God. Where
Did
is
you
Dish Outdoors? You better not have got her sick, Mike. And Miss Susie, everybody.
Hey,
Hey, Sus.
Okay.
Keep away from a run around, Sus.
Give me 1 minute to chat amongst yourselves. I'm going to go double check my Facebook.
You forgot to send Dish a link?
I
sent you
am
a link.
double checking.
Hey, what's the
Wait.
channel, man? What's going on? How have you been?
I don't think I did, but I'm double checking.
I sent you a link.
You trapping? What's going on, kid?
Okay, phew, she's top on the list. I did not forget Dish.
Good to see you.
Thank God.
hey,
Hi, Dish. I hope you're feeling okay.
Uncle Carl.
Thank you. Hey, Uncle Kyle.
Hey, Uncle Cal.
I bet you like that one the bestest.
Yeah,
Hey, Uncle Cow.
Uncle Kyle.
what's up, fuck stick? How you doing? Good to hear. Good to see you.
Hey, Uncle Cal.
2ATVs, you have a link, bro. Let me do a quick rundown on the outside because I see a name we haven't seen a whole lot. Jay Watterson, 69, in first. What's up?
Jay Watt.
Oh, Jay Watt, stick around because we're going to be talking about some stuff here in a little bit.
He just pops in to get first place and he goes off to his
Oh,
game.
he better be
That's
around
where he
here.
hangs
You
out.
know? We're
There's
going to be
another one.
talking.
Fine. You know, we're all encompassing. It's cool. ZPD Survival. Nice to see you. It's been a
ZPD,
minute,
how the hell you doing? Good to see you.
right?
I haven't seen ZPD in like forever.
Gear Grinded 19. What's up, brother?
It's early yet.
Holla if you want to come on or if you're eating dinner or whatever.
He's going to work.
Oh,
Or
ew.
leaving work.
Gerald B, what's happening? Great to see you.
Jezzo. I do that.
His wifey got a brand new young baby handgun.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Right on,
Congratulations.
Jezzo.
What do you say? Teal blue, I think. Yep, teal.
Jezzo, I'm
Watch it. Don't let Gunpowder Beauty come over.
Jezzo, I'm thinking
Wait,
of
what
coming up.
happened?
Staying over.
Gerald B's wife's got a new teal colored 9mm.
Hey,
I gotta go up there. I gotta go up there and go fishing with him.
ladies' range day. I'm just saying.
Redneck Prepper, what's up, bro? Scooby Dooby Doo, SKS Hugo. Nice to see ya.
There's Kias.
Yeah, but what's my channel name? I don't think I'm on your Facebook, so I won't be able to get to see her.
I'm not naked and I'm not taking my meds. Although I could use some allergy meds. Apparently, I'm highly allergic to the oil in cedar wood that beehive I built was made out of, because I am like rashy and itchy and swollen every place my hands touch.
Oh man.
I think you're lying because I watched that video and I didn't see you touch it once. It built itself.
I still haven't seen that video, so I've been sick.
Bust
So
it
I
like
gotta
a
watch that
mofo.
video.
We've been catching up on Steve videos.
G Trapper, what's happening? You know, the
I
itchy
love
and
that
scratchy,
name.
I want to go away, but the swelling, you know.
What's such a pretty name?
Oh, you're terrible.
Look, don't take this the wrong way. What's the channel name? But that is a beautiful name.
Right?
It really is.
It makes me stutter every time I try to say it.
No, I'm not like that, because I can't be like that. But I mean, it's just a beautiful name.
2ATVs, you do have a link in our life. What's the channel name? Tell your old man he has a link. There. Dog knows on my
Fresh
profile.
new link. Does he have a new link, Steve, or is it the last link?
No, the one I just sent.
Okay, because he.
What's happening?
Oh,
What's the news? Apparently, no.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to look at a
Well, let's talk about
photo of a puppy. Steve. So yeah, Ohio's watching a documentary. What's the documentary?
Well, hang on. We're going to talk about CRS first, or we're going to talk about the documentary?
No, the doc's good because Mike's got input.
Okay. It's on Netflix.
He's the local.
I'm about 3 episodes into it. I'm not sure how many episodes there are, but it's so far it's been pretty good. It's called Manhunt: The Boston Marathon Bombers. And it goes through like the timeline of how it all started and everything, and it interviews like the police commissioner and police. He's pretty high up in the police, and then they interview some of
he's the police commissioner of all of Boston.
Well,
yes.
Yeah, there's 2 of them. One's a commissioner and one's like a police chief or so. I don't know. There's different or something. But then they talk to a couple of the patrolmen from like Watertown.
Yep.
They have the FBI special agent that was in charge of everything.
Yep.
They have the attorney, the Boston or the Massachusetts State Attorney General,
who's now the mayor,
the X1 or whatever, who was in charge at that time.
Yep.
It's very interesting, and like I said, I'm only about 3 episodes into it, but I thought it would be something to bring up, talk to Mikey about it. One of the main things was my kids were watching it, and they couldn't help but catch on to how the people, when they talk, they add R's to words that don't have R's, like saw. They sir something. They sir it over there, or however they say it. But then the words that do have R's, they take the R's off and make them HAs. You know.
It is what it is.
That
Yeah.
must have been a tough documentary to watch.
Well, I mean, my kids. You know, they only sit down on the couch for like 3 or 4 minutes, and like, what are you watching? And then you explain it to them, they're like, oh, because they really don't give a fuck. But then, you know, then they hear them talking, they're like, why are they talking so funny? You know, I said they're from Boston. I said they're from Massachusetts, like Mikey.
There he is. What's up, 2ATV? Sorry about that.
So it's the
I'm
it's
new
the-
at this shit.
It's called American Manhunt, not Manhunt.
Oh, American Manhunt.
It's for Osama bin Laden. American Manhunt.
I'll give him.
Right on. Oh,
so
can I intersect for just a second?
go ahead.
Speaking of episodes, episode 6 of Better Call Saul is on Netflix. Once again, season 6 of Better Call Saul is on Netflix. Go ahead.
So I said this off air, and it's the largest manhunt I've ever seen. I've seen them, you know, on the news from somebody breaking out of jail or what have you, and all that. But I've never seen. I mean, they
said it was the largest manhunt.
they shut down. They shut down the city of Watertown. You could not get in it. You could
They
not get out
shut
of
down more than Watertown, dude.
it.
They
Oh, I
shut
know.
the map.
Well,
They
they
shut-
shut down part of
They shut
Newton.
down. They shut down Watertown. What's the one that starts with a G right there?
Gee,
Is there a Garrettsville or something like that? Or
no.
what?
Newton, Watertown.
Garrison?
No,
The fuck was the name of that town then? Damn.
doesn't begin with a G.
Well,
It's
they
only
shut
Newton.
Boston down too. They showed pictures, like they showed video of like Boston. Like
Mm.
they stopped the rail, they stopped,
Huh.
you know, all the taxis, all the buses. They stopped
Huh.
everything. And there
Well,
was,
the day of the bombings, they did that.
no,
Is
the
that the
next
day
day,
you're talking about?
the next day when for the manhunt.
What?
Okay, because
Yeah,
they
the next
reopened
day,
that.
It
but-
looked like a fucking scene out of a goddamn
Yeah.
apocalyptic movie.
Because I had to go to the airport to pick up my wife, and even before 9/11, long before 9/11, and long before the Boston bombings, anytime you flew into Boston, to Logan Airport's what it's called, right? Logan Airport in Boston, state troopers always were right there. Okay. Now, of course, because it had 9/11, there was more presence, and now that when they were looking for him, I pull in to pick him up, and the trooper said, "Are you here to drop?" I says, "No, I'm here to pick up." I said, "But you know the arrows all make us go this way, so I know I can't park here. I know I'm going to go to the garage." I said, "But I'm just going." And he goes, "Yep, that's fine." He goes, "Do you have a problem with me searching your vehicle?" I said, "Absolutely fucking not. Do you need me to step out, or do you want to do it with me sitting in it?" He goes, "Nope, you can do it sitting in it." I says, "Fine, no problem." And he goes, "Can you just hit the rear?" Because we had tint on the rear on the 2 rear windows in the mirror on the hatch, on the window on the hatch. And I said, "Absolutely." I said, "I'll pop the glass for you." He said, "Yep, thank you." I said, "No problem." So I put the windows down, left them down, did all that shit. He did what he needed to do. He's like, "Thanks very much." I goes, "No problem. You enjoy your day." Off I went, picked up but it was because I still had to work. Okay. And because it wasn't like, you gotta remember, they didn't find him for how many days?
It was like 80 hours. So
Yeah. So it was a while. There was
Cambridge
always
is the other
state
place I was
troopers.
talking about.
There was state troopers. There was FBI. There was anybody and anybody you can think of. And the problem is that, you know, they get a report of a guy looking like him in Salem, New Hampshire. Well, Interstate 93 runs Massachusetts into Salem, into New Hampshire. And all you FBI everywhere, mass state troopers, New Hampshire state. It was just, it looked like a police, what do you call it? It was just unreal.
Yeah.
I've never seen so many cops in my entire life.
New puppy.
Mikey, it was Cambridge what I was thinking of. I don't know why I
Cambridge.
was
Okay,
thinking
yeah. Neighboring town. Yep.
So they were talking about
City, I should
Watertown.
say.
They were talking about Watertown, and they
Yeah.
said Watertown is a 4 square mile city
Yes. Not that big.
with 40,000 people in it.
Correct.
Okay, the city that I live in
Yep.
is 2.86 square miles. So
Okay. That's
close
our
to
smallest city we have.
So-
But go ahead.
Yeah, so close to 3 square miles. So add another square mile. In my city that I live in, our population is just over 5,000. I could
Right.
not imagine living in a city just a little bit larger than the one I live in with 40,000 people.
Yep.
They said people live on top of each other, man. The houses are like this close and shit.
You open the door, you pull in your drive with parts of that city, and parts of the city of Lawrence. The city of Lawrence, Massachusetts is 2.4 miles, square miles. And I believe it has almost 80,000 people in it. And you open your door, it's like even parts of Drake where I live here. Your driveway, you pull into your driveway, you open your door too much, you're hitting your neighbor's house, and that's not an exaggeration. It's dead honest truth.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it. I mean, I did it for a while. New Orleans was like that.
But yeah, it's a very tight. They only had a 1 mile thing in the city of Watertown for him, because when they had confirmation it was him, they projected, they did their thing. The FBI
I think
did
they
their
said
thing.
they covered
They had-
22 blocks or something. They were
Right,
had
but
enough
they only-
manpower to
but they
cover
only-
22 blocks.
Right, but it was only like a 1 mile radius of where, you know what I mean? He was
Yeah,
just
I'm
out.
just now
They
getting to the part where they had the actual 911 call. Like they showed the MIT cop getting shot where they tried to take his
Sean.
gun.
Sean Collier.
Yeah, and then
I coached him in football.
They showed the part where he got speed bumped. That was pretty cool to actually see him get speed bumped.
Kill his own brother. Yep.
Yeah, they actually show him getting speed bumped because the cops are like on top of him, like trying to handcuff him. And then the brother jumps in the SUV and takes off. And the cops are like, "Get the fuck out of the way!" And they all jump out of the way. And he's just like thump right over his fucking brother.
Wow.
Runs his brother over, and they show it. They show all of it. You see him.
That tells you the guy's character right there. If you run over your own fucking brother.
So, but I'm at the part now where the 911 call came in, and the guy said, "Hey, I think there's somebody in my boat."
Huh? Steve, what did you say?
I keep hearing somebody else. Is there?
That's Mrs. 2 ATVs.
Okay.
Oh,
What up, girl?
What did you I'm sorry, Ohio. What did you say?
I said I'm just now to the part where the 911 call came in from the boat owner, the guy that has
Yes,
the
the
boat.
guy, right.
I'm at that
School-
part right now, so
School Street, I think. Or it was
yeah,
off
but-
of School Street in Watertown. I've been by it millions of times. I used to do long before that even happened. I used to go by that street delivering shit.
yeah. I tell you what, I recommend this show because it's just it's put together pretty well. Like I said before, I don't know if I said it off chat or on chat, but it seems there's a little bit of left leaning because there's
Well,
some.
it is Massachusetts, bro.
Well, but like one of the reporters is talking about. It just you can. There's just a sense that it leans a little bit that way. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
'Cause
but
they wanna
it's
talk-
Massachusetts. You gotta understand.
Well, they want to talk about what led to them doing it, like
Oh,
how they
well,
were treated when
yeah.
they came to America, and the laws, and and what happened, and how his dad's pipe dream of the American dream didn't turn out the way it's supposed to, and the family lived, and then they pushed the whole Russian.
They lived in Fall River in New Bedford.
They pushed the whole Russian invasion on Chechnya, and how that we knew about them. We knew about this guy, the FBI. He was on a fucking list.
He was on a watch list.
But they didn't take it seriously because the information came from Russia,
Correct.
and we were accepting all these Chechnyan refugees into our country.
Yes.
So we opened our arms to fucking terrorists. Come on in, terrorists.
Public address announcement. Dish is A-OK. She's having movie night with her mom.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
We were seeing
And I know.
Homeland
And I know.
Security
I'm
around
sorry.
here.
Go ahead, Shalisa. My bad.
We were seeing Homeland Security around here. I was with my neighbors and friends, and we went to the casino that night. And we come off of I-94, and there was Homeland Security, and I thought that was weird. And then later we stopped to eat at the restaurant, and they had the TV going, and that's when I learned about the Boston bombing. But I don't know what the heck the Homeland Security were doing out here. We're
Are you talking recently or back when the Boston
back
bombing?
when the Boston bombing happened.
Wow.
You'd be amazed.
I didn't know. We were like, what's the Homeland Security? And then we saw that on the news a couple hours later. That must be why the Homeland
Well,
Security.
I know
you
that.
basically, it doesn't matter where something happens at in this country. If something like that happens, everybody goes on high alert because we don't know if we're being attacked
Right.
all over again. You know what I mean?
Don't
And I know
shops
Jay,
all over America just empty out?
and I know Jay Watt. You know, Jay Watt's always teasing me about it, and you know, he's put the link in there about how tactically, and I mean tactically by not tact as in they use good tact. I mean tactical teams went door to door looking for this fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Now, you can sit here and debate it all night long, and everybody has their own opinion, and it's fine, whichever way you want to go. It's all good.
Well,
I look at it this way. Go ahead.
I was fixing to say at 9/11, I was 3 miles from where Bush was at that schoolhouse down in Florida.
Yep.
You talking about cops and everything going crazy? They went pure ape shit crazy down in Florida, around
Oh, yeah.
Tampa. Sarasota. Well, I mean, Fort St. Pete there, where Bush was. I mean,
I used to argue with TR all the time. For the TR was TR Prepper. For those of you who don't remember, here we go. De facto martial law. I knew he'd put something in there, but it was martial law, but it wasn't. It was never done in the way that martial law is supposed to be.
Hey, Garrett.
What's the word I'm looking for?
Well, what they put the city on a total like lockdown. They called it
Yes.
what's it called? Something in place, whatever.
Yeah, stay in.
Shelter in place.
Yeah, something along that line,
shelter in
Steve.
place, yeah.
But so here's the thing.
Yeah, shelter in place.
Shelter in place.
Order or something.
And I get it. I get that what Jay Watt's talking about. I understood what TR's talking about. TR's argument, that I always had with TR was, we as Americans have rights, right? When you get arrested, sometimes if they're going to ask you a question, they're going to give you Miranda, okay? And by the way, people, they don't have to Miranda you to arrest you. That people only if they're going to ask you a question.
Only when they question you about
some
crime.
people just don't understand this. But anyways, we have certain rights, okay? Because we have those rights, they're ours. Guess what that means? And I've yelled at Jay Watt for this too. And Jay Watt gets mad at me when I say it, so I'm going to say it again. Not to piss him off, but just to let those understand where I'm coming from. It's our right individually. Mine, 2 ATVs, Ohio's, gunpowders, everybody's fucking right. If you want to give up a right, that's your right to give up a right.
Yep.
So if you want them to come into your home and quote unquote, as Jay Watt would tell you, illegally, so they weren't, and to say it and for the 9th millionth time, you could have had 50 pounds of cocaine on your fucking coffee table. They didn't give a fuck about that bullshit. They wanted to find this cocksucker, and that's all they wanted to find was that cocksucker. That's all I gave a fuck about.
Well,
Now, people think I'm.
Isn't there a law against that anyhow? They can't arrest you for something else when they're looking for something. They can't go off the warrant or whatever.
No, if it's in plain view, they can. So
Oh,
if they come to your house looking for Mikey on a warrant, and that's his last known address, and they come in, and looking for him, and he's not there, but you have,
big bag of
a
weed.
stack. You got a stack of fucking illegal shit on your coffee table or whatever, or something. And if it's
Right.
in plain view,
They're gonna,
yes, they can.
right.
They can charge you with it.
So-
But they can't use that excuse for one thing if they're to go find other stuff.
Now others have said, but Mike, they disregarded the Fourth Amendment. But I'm not arguing that.
Well, they talk about that in this documentary that they had. They talked about the many lawyers that they contacted and had like a special lawyer team to go over everything they were doing, and it was they believed these lawyers believed that was like the furthest they could go without actually violating civil rights of the citizens.
Oh, they violated them. Wow.
Well,
Big dog leather. What's up, bro?
here's the thing, though. When they're going door to door,
It
and
wasn't
they're
a
knocking,
choice.
and they have every right to come up to your door and knock and say, "Hey, we're looking for this
Correct.
stuff. Can we search your house?" And it's up to you. Some people told them no, and they were like, "Okay, is everybody okay here then?" And it's like,
Right.
yeah, we're fine. Can we look here?
But what people don't understand is everybody
But what
thinks.
they didn't like was the cops going through their backyard and through their garages and shit without asking or no warrants or anything. Just, you'd have a bunch of people in your back. You'd be
Correct.
sitting on your house watching TV and you see like 6 cops dressed like SWAT members fucking walk across your backyard,
Correct.
looking for this guy in your garage and shit and underneath your trailers and everything like that. So people had a problem with that, but yeah, there was a couple scenes, but the biggest thing that people had a problem with is when people are nosy. People in general are nosy. You see a bunch of cops across the street, and you open your door and you stick your head out and you think, "What the hell's going on?" Well, when the cop standing on the sidewalk turns around and points an AR at you and tells you to get back in your fucking house, that pisses people off because
It would have pissed me off too, and I probably would have left my door open just
Right.
to piss him off.
yeah. So there's
Okay.
and people were, and they were putting on this spectacle of a show, and when you put on a spectacle of a show, you're going to have an audience show up to watch. So when people
Right.
started looking out their windows and coming out on the front porch, they didn't deserve to have guns pointed at them and be
Correct.
yelled at by. I mean, tensions are high, right? I mean, I know tensions are high. I don't know personally if I would even, I might peer out my window, but I don't think my ass is going out on my front porch. I was in a situation one time before where I was sitting.
Some people can't help it. Like
Right.
myself.
Well, I was sitting on my couch. I lived in an apartment building. It was a 4-story apartment building.
Stick your nose out the door.
Like you had when you first walked up to the building at ground level, to go to the first floor, you had to go down. You know what I'm talking about? You walked down 7 steps.
Yeah.
But if you went up, you went to the second level, which was above ground. It was like a weird level. You had your first level was below ground, the second level. I lived on the 3rd level, and then there was a 4th level. And the 4th level wasn't done yet. They were revamping these apartments. So the whole entire 4th floor was empty apartments. But I'm sitting there on the couch. I just got home from work. And what had happened was somebody robbed the Wendy's and shot one of the managers at the Wendy's and locked the rest of the crew in the freezer and robbed the place. Well, there was a cop that was right around the corner when it happened that responded and chased the guy on foot, and the guy was able to get away from him, and he ran into our apartment complex and he ran upstairs, and he was held up in one of these apartments upstairs, and it was like a SWAT. It wasn't a hostage situation, but it was a standoff. He took a couple pop shots at the police and stuff like that. But when it first went down, you know, and I hear like this helicopter. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I look out my back window of my bedroom, and there's a helicopter there. And then there's like a Bearcat, and there's like 10 SWAT guys, and there's like cops everywhere. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? So I go out the front, and I've got like the window blinds, the cheap blinds that every apartment has. So I pull those up, you know, they go up, fucking SWAT guys right there on my front steps of my apartment. And, you know, I was like, oh, fuck, what's going on? And they're like, sir, stay down, close your, you know, get back, you know, close your window, stay down. I'm like, okay. You know, I was like, shit. But I'm still nosy as fuck looking out the little window going, what the fuck's going on, you know? But yeah, there's just being nosy is just American, you know, is just not American, but just a human nature to want to know what's going on. So all these people,
Happened to
you
me.
have, you have this spectacle going on, and these people come out and they want to see what's going on, but then they're treated like they're fucking third-rate citizens.
So I don't know in your documentary if they interviewed this particular guy and his wife, but they had a guy and a wife. At the time, they were probably in their mid-50s, if I had to guess. They knocked on the door and asked if they can search his house. And he said, sir, I've already swept my house twice. He says, and by the way, I'm carrying a gun and I am not taking it off. He said, I'm ex-military. He said, I've already done he says, I just got done doing 30 years in the U.S. military. He said, so there isn't anything you're going to tell me about sweeping the house that I need to know or anything like that. He said, now, without, you can, but without being, you know. And I guess the way it was written up is that I guess you have, when you have these, the CRT team, whatever the hell you want to call them, SWAT team, whatever the hell you want to call them.
Yeah.
They have, you know, when they go out, because they did it in individual groups. You know what I mean? I guess there's a lead. What do you call it, Ohio? There's a lead. Is it a sergeant or somebody in charge, or an OIC or something?
Well, I mean, on your regular like duty patrols, you got your duty sergeant who's, you know,
No, but I mean on a search on a search like they were doing, whoever was in charge, right?
Yeah, I don't know how far they go up, like, you know.
Well, he told the guy, he said, who's in charge here? And the guy said, he says, actually I am. And he said, okay, I'm just letting you know. I'm going to tell you again. I've always swept my house, sweep my yard. I do it at least 3 times a day. Okay, it's the very least 3 times a day.
Wow.
He said, so trust me when I tell you, that man is not in this house. Trust me if I tell you, if he was, I wouldn't be calling you. I'd be calling the medical examiner. And that's exactly his words. That's what he told him. And they came in. When he came in, he said, "But you are going to come in my home with your guns down. You're not, because I'm not. Mine isn't up in your face or up in, you know, pointed, and neither were yours. You know, and that's how the interview when it was written up went, because I couldn't understand how this guy got it. You know what I mean? Got away with saying what he was saying and the way he was saying it, and two, you know what I mean? And then the video came out on him, came out on the news, you know, because I got the footage and all that, you know. But I'm hoping that that's in your documentary, because you'll understand exactly what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just down to one part. So, but like I said, it's
Usually if you talk to the police in a professional manner, not just screaming and yelling, they'll listen to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we had a reverse 911 call one night. Come in here because Delisa's cousin across the street, they was gonna bust him for drugs and all this stuff. He ran right across the road over in our yard and all this stuff. They told us to lock the windows, doors, do not open the door for nobody.
Wow.
I mean it's basically a reverse 911 call is the way it showed up. So
yeah,
they warned us to stay in the house and don't, because they would be in our yard, and they would be coming through our yard on. It would be true.
You know, that's
Here's
weird. In my little neighborhood, I don't believe any of my neighbors have told me they got a reverse 911 when the FBI came in the freaking yard. You know, the bust the conspiracy guy in the back.
Yeah, but that wasn't. They're not going to give you a reverse 911 on that because that was a sting operation in order to bust those guys. But if someone escapes from prison or escapes from jail and they could be dangerous, then you might get one.
well,
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, on that part of them, because you know that's like calling somebody, letting them know you're on your way before you come bust them. You know.
so here's the only part about the whole thing that really pissed me off, other than the act itself, right? Obviously. Here's what pissed me off, and you're up to the 911. You already know what happens, so it's you know, it's like the Titanic sank, just letting you know. So it's not like, you know, okay.
What?
It's not like it's a giveaway, right? We all know. I've been calling him Gilligan for 10 years because he got caught in
Yeah,
a boat.
don't spoil it for me. I haven't watched the last episode yet.
Here's my problem. As most people know, I'm going to go with 90% or better. 90% or better of your police force, especially around here anyway, is ex-military. Okay?
I think 90's a bit high, but go with it.
All right. But my point is,
Because a lot of them are guys that couldn't get into the military, so they get on the police force. Just saying.
well, my point is that they've all had their training. They've all had their, you know, especially these guys on the CERT teams, right? They're extra trained, correct? So here's my only problem. How does he come out of that boat alive? And there was gunfire like a mofo. It wasn't like there was 2 shots.
Really?
Wait till you see the picture of the. Go online. Shalisa's got the fastest fingers in town here, right? You go online. Oh, I didn't mean it like that way, Shalisa. Sorry, honey. You go online, right? And you Google the boat from the Boston bombings after they shot it up, and look at the fucking bullet holes. How's this motherfucker alive?
Which is a perfect segue to why we do not need magazine bans or capacity bans.
Exactly.
That many rounds went off and the dude was still going.
They got him in the throat.
Why should only had 9 or 10 rounds?
I don't know if the bullet went through his throat, glanced his throat, or whatever, but he couldn't talk for like ever. Oh, man. So sorry. Okay. When they first got him, they put him in Shirley, Mass. I forget the name of the prison, but it's in Shirley, Mass. It's a max prison. They did the trial, and then they put him in. Then they shipped him to Colorado. Now here's what I want to know. The quickest person ever fucking electrocuted, well, whatever, put to death, was the kid from Oklahoma City. Those bombings there.
Yeah.
Timothy
was-
McVeigh.
All right, it was 6 years. He served 6 years, and then they executed him. Why is this fucking prick still alive after 10?
We just watched that story.
Oh.
Okay.
Well,
Well, does Massachusetts have the death penalty?
No, it's but because no.
There you
Listen
go.
to me. It doesn't have to be Massachusetts.
Even though
Stop.
it's federal,
It's
hang on now.
federal.
Even though it's federal, it happened in Massachusetts, and you have to go by Massachusetts law.
No, because what they did was that they had a court proceeding about the death penalty because it was a federal offense. You understand what I'm saying?
That's
Do you understand what I'm saying here? They had a separate hearing on whether they can give him the death penalty. You can get the death penalty in Massachusetts if you reach a certain criteria, and he exceeded it. So
Yeah.
Okay, in 2015, he was sentenced to death.
Yeah, why isn't he dead?
Because he's got buku appeals to do.
Is he still in Colorado?
Yeah, Florence, Colorado.
Florence, Colorado, right?
Well,
Yeah,
he's
that's the Supermax.
No, he's in the Supermax. He's where what's his name was there from the fucking mob.
Your guy?
Sam in the Bull Gravano was there too.
yeah. Well, that's
Gravano was there when he was there.
yeah, but you got to remember that was the Timothy McVeigh thing. They
Yep.
were scared he was going to bring Clinton involved in the middle of it. So everybody around Clinton gets all commits suicide anyway. Right?
Yeah, but he didn't commit suicide. They fucking lethally injected him.
Yeah, but I mean, and they would
One way or
scared
the
he
other.
would get something out of him that it was the FBI or CIA that was involved in that shit. So
8 years later, so they get the death penalty in 2015. That was 8 years ago. What the fuck?
Well, a lot of cases like that, it costs more to kill them than it does to keep them in prison.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he's-
back in the day,
appeals and
back in the
appealed
day
in
when it wasn't
2020.
back in the day when it wasn't expensive, a bullet only cost like 15 cents a piece. And I'll tell you what, people think I'm barbaric and people think I'm cold and whatever. When you have a case like that, or you have a case like Timothy McVeigh and shit like that, okay? Those type of cases. All right?
Okay, listen to this.
Oh,
In
hang on.
2020, hang on. You asked a question. I'm giving you the
All
answer.
right, my bad. Go ahead.
In 2020, he appealed, and a Boston judge ruled that the evidence was improperly held back by the prosecution in his original trial. So they took him off of death row. But in March of 2022, just last year, the U.S. Supreme Court upheld the original death sentence, and he was placed back on death row, where he remains today. So since he was placed back on,
now he's making
story-
records for the rap stars.
he
Can I ask-
still has more appeals left.
Well, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. Why do you have the right to fucking have 42 fucking appeals?
But you know what? I'll tell you what. He would have been executed if President Trump would have won his second term.
Probably.
Because that's what they're saying here. He was scared. Trump put 13. Trump did 13 executions in his final 6 months of office.
Wow.
Oops.
well,
So, but my thing is that when you do something like this, I have no problem with going back to the old days. You're found guilty. It's videoed. It's everything. Nothing's tricky. Nothing's, it could be, would be. You know it's you. You did it. They got you. Dead balls left. You go to court. They find you guilty. They put a bullet right in your fucking forehead. You call it a day. It's over.
But
Have
you
a
can't
good
do
night,
that. But you can't do that
CPD.
now.
Thanks for coming in.
can I ask a dumb question?
Better than anybody we know.
Every one of you, except for Steve, looks like y'all are froze and frozen. I mean, y'all got jackets on, you wrapped all up, and all this stuff.
It's 45 degrees.
I'm wondering, could y'all not pay the electric bill or the gas bill or something this month?
Okay.
I mean,
Well,
here's what
it's a collection for y'all.
it's 45 degrees and cloudy and damp.
And
Where I
wet
am.
and rainy.
Now, I'm sitting in a room adjacent to the basement that is not heated, so it's even cooler.
Plus, it was 86 degrees 2 days ago, and we turned our air conditioner on, and by God, we're not turning that fucking heat back on. So we just
Well, I'm sitting here though, and I see a ceiling fan that's running wide open, and
Good night, CPD.
I'm just trying to. I mean, I just had to change the subject a little bit, but y'all look
Well,
like y'all frozen.
It's
ceiling
a
fan
northern
pushes the
thing.
air. The ceiling fan pushes the air up to the ceiling, and then disperses it around the room to keep airflow going.
Okay,
So it's not
well, I
blowing
mean, I was,
directly down on me.
Backwards too.
But
I was just curious. I mean, I meant to ask that question when I first come in, but I didn't want to interrupt.
I
The
guess
ceiling fan,
The halo.
Don't put they have the oven
yeah,
on.
my Halo, the ceiling fan and the box fan stay on 24/7 at my house.
That way, when there's a fire, woof.
but
And just-
Nowadays they're saying clear the smoke with fans.
Yeah.
but to just to tell you how I feel, Ohio. I don't know if it's because I coach Sean. I don't know what it is. That Boston bombing really got not that 9/11 didn't get to me because I watched every fucking special on that too,
right. Yeah.
and every documentary on that too.
It's close to home to you, bro. I'm sure.
But
if it was
it is so. I'm telling you, it's just. It's why I go around and around with
Jay Watt.
Jay Watt, and which is fine, and because I would never take, but I coached that kid. You know what I mean? And
And
from the
he
guy
was
like
doing
that,
nothing but sitting in his fucking cruiser.
he wasn't
and
even
a
looking for him.
No, college. Well, they needed a gun.
He wasn't even looking for him.
No, he was just sitting. He was sitting at a college dorm area.
Yep. Because he worked at MIT. For those who don't know, MIT is where all the fucking world smart fucking brainiac fucking
Engineers and shit go.
engineers, and they can put a vehicle on top of a roof without using a crane and not really taking the whole thing. It's just these people are fucking disgustingly smart. But again, same people that are disgustingly smart have zero common sense. But anyway, I digress on that. He was a cop at that university, waiting to get on the Somerville Police Department.
And they just ambushed him and shot him in the head.
Right.
When was this?
The night of the Boston.
The night that he killed his brother.
Oh, really?
Right after he killed his brother. I mean, right after. No, he shot
No,
Sean
it was-
first.
No, they killed Sean first. Yeah,
They killed Sean first, and
they
then
killed Sean first, and then they carjacked a foreign. I don't know. He was Asian. I don't know where he was from.
yeah, right.
But
No,
they
he was
carjacked
yep.
him. And that dude there is a fucking hero, dude.
Yeah, he is.
He is a hero because he stayed calm and he stayed with those guys. They carjacked him and they made him drive a little bit, but then they stopped and all three, all of the other brother got in the same car with them, and they made him get in the passenger side and they held a gun on him the whole time. They said they were going to New York.
Right.
Right. So the guy says, well, my car doesn't have enough gas in it to get to New York. We need to stop and get gas. And when they stopped to get gas, the younger brother went in to get snacks and pay and shit. And the older brother put his gun down in the door, in the little slide pocket in the door. And this is when the guy decided, here's my chance. And he fucking jumped out and took off running across the street to another gas station and told the clerk there to call 911 that the Boston bombers, because they told him everything that fucking happened. He said, they told me why they did it. They told him everything. They said they weren't going to kill him. And they're like, yeah, but he's like, you just killed fucking people and you just shot a cop. So what can I trust you not to kill me?
Right? Yeah, and you just told me the whole effing story.
Right. So cops called, he called the cops, and that was in Cambridge. And the call went out for a hijacked vehicle because the guy knew his plate and everything. Now, this guy's new to America. His big thing was owning a car. This was his first car he ever bought. So he was really into everything about this fucking car. He bought a Mercedes SUV.
Damn.
He was I think he was an MIT student, wasn't he?
Yep.
I'm not sure. But he knew everything there was to know about this car. And they were like, how do you know the license? He's like, it's my first car. I know everything. He knew the license plate by heart. He knew the fucking VIN by heart. And he goes, oh, yeah. And it's got a GPS on it. If you type in GPS number, blah, 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 it will tell you where it's at. And they did. And they were like, shit, they're in Watertown now. So the call went out. The call wasn't for Boston bombers suspect. It was just a carjacking suspect. So they thought it was just a robbery. So Watertown rolls up on it, passes them. They're going real slow. So Watertown passes them, notices the two people in it, sees the vehicle, identifies it, passes them, stops. And when they stop to go turn around, before they even get to turn, these guys jump out and start shooting at the cops. And then it's a full out fucking,
Gunfight.
shootout. And it's all on video, like people's surveillance cameras and shit. You got to go watch this documentary, guys. It's one of the greatest.
Wow.
I don't have.
It's a really good documentary, and it's a bunch of stuff that you've never seen before. What's that, Shalise?
Can I get your Netflix code so I can watch it on your payment?
On my payment.
I'll tape it for you, Shalisa.
Shalisa
I'll turn on my screen capture the whole thing.
Shalisa, I think you can actually. Shalisa, I think you can actually get it on your phone.
No, what we do one time, what we'll do is we'll just get on a private chat
In Zoom.
and then
Screen
screen share it. We can all watch it together.
Oh, that'd be a riot.
But it was I'll tell you, I remember that. I remember the story about that Asian man. He how he didn't like shit himself is beyond me.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a real hero too, man. And you don't hear about that. You don't hear about him, Because if it wasn't for him and knowing what he knew and doing what he did, they might have got away.
And so,
I'm not saying they would have got away forever, but they would have got away that night.
Not counting his idiot brother, because I don't care. I don't care that he's in. I don't care where the fuck he is with Olive and all that bullshit. Okay, but the 4 people they killed. But people also have to remember that there was a bunch of people maimed for the rest of their life.
Oh yeah, there's
people lost a leg. The girl up here in Drake was all cut up and all, I think she's on a. I think she had
did
16 operations on her leg.
Did 3 die?
Pardon?
Was there 4 that died from the bombing or 3?
4 people died from that bombing.
So then the 5th one is the cop.
Wow, no, excuse me. 3 people died from the bombing, and Sean died being murdered.
Okay.
But 4 people died that day.
But
and again, I don't count his fucking
people were maimed.
I don't count his fucking brother.
Hey, on a different subject, but still people being maimed, there was 32 people maimed and 4 people killed, and there remains 4 in critical condition that might not make it from a shooting at a birthday party in Alabama that the news, because it doesn't fit the narrative, is totally ignoring right now.
Hey, Jay Watt.
I mean, they went full bore on the Nashville shooting and the Louisville shooting, who were less people shot. Okay, but we got 32 people injured and 4 dead, with a possibility of 4 more dead soon if they don't pull through in the hospital. And 3 or 4 shooters arrested, but it doesn't fit the narrative. Doesn't fit the narrative, people. So the media has just buried it. And if anyone watches Officer Tatum,
you talking about Alabama?
Yes,
that's what he said.
Pitiful.
Oh.
Yeah. It was a Sweet 16 birthday party that they went in there and shot it up.
There's still towns in Alabama that still got that sign up that says for certain people not to be seen after dark in those towns. So I've actually seen one of those signs. This goes back to the civil rights stuff and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, Jim Crow law, Jim Crow's. But yeah, it's.
Why do you hate your name? What's the channel name?
Her mom.
That's a beautiful name.
She's going to name her Billie Jean.
Because you have a beautiful. Your name now is beautiful.
Yeah.
So, well, we talked about that for an hour now, or just about an hour. So let's get off the.
Yeah,
Netflix
my bad.
documentary.
My bad. I can do that all night. So.
And then we'll end with, I think everyone, if you have a chance to watch it, and then
cool.
American.
I
For
have
those who
good
just-
news, bad news. Remember, I mentioned last time we had a chat about my lovely governor inviting the communist Chinese to come in and build a battery factory and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Well, they're fighting it, and chances are it's not going to go through.
Why they-
Bad news is they just busted a bunch of communist Chinese in New York harassing their own people, trying to look for defectors and shit under the radar.
Wow.
New York.
That's nothing new.
I got a bone to pick with you, Mr. Steve.
Uh-oh. I can't wait to hear this.
You popped in my chat last night. I threw the link up there for you to grab, and you wouldn't come on the panel. And here I was arguing American law against the damn Canadian that
Oh,
was
Lord.
why do Americans need guns? And I figured you would at least have jumped in there because you would at least back me up.
Why
But
didn't you just
no,
end the conversation?
I don't
because
argue
we're
with
not fucking
Canadians.
Canadians?
And second of all, I was hanging with my honey, so I didn't
So,
have time to get
But
on.
hey, two ATVs. I got a question for you.
Sorry about that, bro.
Well, not a question. It's just like more like a statement. Here's all I would have said. That's because we're Americans, you're not Canadians.
but
Because we stopped bowing down to the Queen in 1776.
yeah,
So fuck off.
I mean,
Or
but
the
he
king
was.
or whoever now, because
Was that guy
He
living
was-
in a bus or a camper?
Yeah, he was because he was saying that if a person breaks in your house and all that stuff, and all that, we don't have the right to shoot them. I said that son of a. He said you had to have a weapon and blah blah blah. I said no, you just got to give him a second to turn his ass around and get the fuck out the door, or you drop him. And
Well,
he's-
you don't
he's-
even have to do that here. We got the castle doctrine here.
yeah,
Yeah.
Castle Doctrine, and that extends to your car and RV.
We don't have,
And
we
on
don't
the
have that.
street.
Yeah. Stevie, I'll be right back.
All right.
But I mean, it was, and he was trying to argue that you shoot the main to take out of you shoot the main. I said no. The way I was taught is if you pull a damn gun on, you better be prepared to kill him. So
Yeah, center
I said,
mass.
center mass or in the brain. That's
Yeah,
I mean,
this ain't a
You can shoot
Western
center
movie
mass
where
to
you can
stop
take
the
careful aim at his kneecap or something.
yeah.
It's all
You
about
shoot to
spray
stop
and
the
pray.
threat.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean-
That's what I tell Susie. You keep pulling the trigger until it quits wiggling.
Yeah.
Because we just watched a cop in a gunfight, one-on-one with a guy. That guy was shooting a cop, and that cop emptied 3 mags and only hit the guy a couple times.
Yeah, I had a guy out of Western, he was out of Western Canada, and then I had some damn California lunatics in there too. So, I mean, so in other words, it was actually I said, well, there's Steve. He'll jump in here now and
Sorry about that. I didn't
and
mean
he and
I didn't know you
and
had a
I'd have
California
some
person.
backup in here anyway. But
Damn it. We were right on our way to go watch a movie, and we were eating dinner and
okay.
everything else. Sorry.
yeah, I just
You better be careful with them Californians. They're liable to red flag law you.
yeah.
Make a phone call.
Well,
How dare you stand your ground?
I know, it, but that's what I told him. I said we have a stand your ground laws, and in the states over here. I mean, and from where I'm at, I mean Virginia South. It's got. I don't know what the rest of them have got, but
Shalisa, did you just get pooted on? What you waving?
She's got her ass aimed at my face just in case she farts. I try.
Ass cat. All you gotta do is bite her in the ass one time, and she won't do it again. Go ahead.
All right, come here. Come on, get it back up here. Aw.
Sorry about that, Carol.
no problem. I was just
I would have come in there and heated it up. And I'm not a big kill somebody for being in my house kind of guy, but there's a line they choose to cross.
Yeah, I mean, if it comes, like I said, if it, if I retreat back to my house and he follows me and kicks in my damn door, that son of a bitch is dead. I mean, I'm shooting to kill. I don't care. I ain't worried about it at that point. This is as far once I get inside my house, this is as far as I can back up.
Yep.
And that's it.
Done with it. And be careful, everybody. Growing in popularity, shit, I can't remember what they called it, but they will sit at a bank in a parking lot and watch you withdraw money, and they will casually follow you to your house or to the gas station, wherever you go, and then carjack you and take your money. So keep your head on a swivel when you're at the bank drive-through or whatever.
Well, I got the fix for that. I got a wife, so I don't carry money. So
you carry it, honey. I'll be your backup. I'll keep you covered.
I'm teasing, dummy.
All of a sudden, the frying pan comes into the kitchen. What's Steve do? Go to bed?
Oh,
Nope.
he was taking a pee. Did you hear that? Just dropped.
Shaking it and broke the mirror. Damn, bro.
Damn.
Yeah.
Crack the tile floor.
We're talking about how hard you dropped the toilet seat.
Oh, you've been sitting there holding his hand. You sure you ain't giving that there fat wood or nothing like that? That wasn't what it was. Is it?
I heard Steve asked where I went, so I had to make a sound effect so he knew what was going on. I didn't know.
I just making sure it wasn't dropping that fat wood around and
an earthquake.
That's awesome, you guys. You guys make a good team, and that little guy following you around the woods, man, he's getting some good training.
He loves the outdoors.
He's got a good dad.
Thank you.
He's in his glory.
That's the only requirement. Just get outside.
Yep.
Shake the stink off you.
My grandmother used to tell me, get outside and get that stink blowed off you.
Yep.
Blow the stink off, Rita. Hear that? Now it looks like I'm doing something.
yeah, that's what I'm fixing to say. You look like you're trying to get that fat wood again.
Well, I can't say you're petting the pussy, but where'd Ohio go?
Change subject.
I'm here. What's up?
Oh, what happened? Somebody come home or come down?
No, I just was playing with something that.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, so you're the one playing with the fat wood.
I was playing with something that can't be on camera during a YouTube live video.
Rack. Just
Playing,
saying.
Rack.
he was playing with the fat wood.
He was playing with his rack.
Right. Also, I was partaking in a quenching of thirsts.
No, you can't be. Oh,
Moonshine?
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
I thought you were a teetotaler.
Moonshine in a plastic bottle, not a plastic milk jug.
No, it's glass,
Oh,
and it's got a cork on the top of it.
Love that sound.
take a big whiff.
So, anybody know the YouTube channel CRS? Is it CRS Firearms or?
Yeah, that's smooth. I think it's CRS Firearms. Yeah.
Yeah, he got convicted for conspiracy.
He got what? Found guilty on 5 of 8 charges.
Yeah, over a freaking metal card with a etching on it. Nobody ever used it to hurt anybody. Nobody ever used it to make a fully auto. So it's getting to the point now where I'm afraid to look shit up on YouTube or I might get a knock on my door. I'm not saying he wasn't a dumbass. I'm just saying.
You know what? Not saying he wasn't a dumbass is an understatement. You know what I mean? Because I used to watch his videos, and I'm sorry, but I thought he was a dumbass.
Well,
you
do have to have people in the crowd poking the bear once in a while, just to see where they stand. But damn,
was that a setup though? I mean, did somebody report him or something? Somebody had to report.
The way I heard it, how it all got started, which sounds very fishy to me. It sounds like a agent was in amongst the crew. So 3 guys were out in the field, and supposedly a guy was driving by and heard auto gunfire. And this is where it really starts sounding fishy. Pulled his car over, walked out in said field and said, "Hey guys, what's up? Blah, blah, blah." They handed him the metal card and says the shit don't work anyhow. And then went on about their business. And he's the one who called the police and got the whole thing rolling. Everything about that sounds fishy to me.
Yeah, but weren't they selling those? He was selling those cards out of his shop.
Yep.
I think that's what got him in trouble. Is you can't sell that shit, you know.
But the thing was, it wasn't actually the part. It was a shape of a part.
Yeah, if you cut it out, it would have made the part, right?
Yeah. Which then you're breaking the law if you turn an AR into full auto. From what I understand, nobody has done it.
Under that same premises, if I take a block of plastic and I trace out where you need to cut to make a bump stock out of it, that would be the same thing, right? You're not buying a bump stock, you're buying this piece of plastic
with a drawing
that will be a bump stock if you cut the excess plastic off of it.
Yeah. So basically, they're busting you for having an idea, which is scary.
So basically, you're getting busted for having a 80%. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
well, they could stretch it to the imagination. If I took
not an 80%, but a
block of whatever and drilled some holes in it in strategic places.
Well, what's the lowers called? You got the. Like mine was the one I built was an 80%er, right? Because it already had the holes and everything, and it's serialized.
No, an 80%er has no serial number.
Okay.
But it also doesn't have the mag well carved out.
So it just looks an 80%er looks like a lower, but you have to mill it out yourself.
Yes.
Okay, so that's basically an 80% gun part is what they had.
Right.
Right. Okay. So mine is just called a lower then.
Yeah,
80% lower. Then there's just a lower because mine's serialized.
Strip lower.
Stripped. Okay, strip lower. Mine was a strip lower. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, 80%. You have to take it home and do work on it, which is totally legal in the United States to make your own personal firearm. You cannot sell it. You cannot give it away. You only can use it for your own personal use.
And another thing is, like my buddy has one. He's got the kit or whatever that you buy, like the mill kit, and you clamp it on it. Clamp it on there, and it tells you exactly where to drill and everything.
Yes.
And he says, now he's like, I own this.
Yep.
I cannot let you use it.
Correct.
He's like, but if you want to come over tomorrow, I will sell it to you
Yep.
for $1.
Which is absolutely legal.
And when you're done using it, if you feel like it, you can sell it back to me for $1, is what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely
And-
legal.
And isn't that stupid how the law works? Is here, I can't let you borrow this tool because that's all it is a tool. I can't let you borrow this tool, but I can sell it to you for $1.
I'll have to look that up because technically I thought you could give it away or loan somebody that tool. You just could not participate in working on it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know.
Unless they change something.
Well, see, but see, if he sells it to me for $1 and then he helps me, he's not participating in making it for someone else.
Well, technically he's not supposed to do it for you or help you do it. He can stand there and give you directions.
But he doesn't own it anymore. I own it. So therefore he can help me.
True.
What's that?
What is it?
Stupid laws in this country.
Well,
you know?
I used to go to an auction all the time, and whenever they had firearms, to come up, the guy would reach over and he would say he would sell you this piece of paper, okay, but the gun goes with it, with this piece of paper. So whatever that piece of paper brought, he didn't have the FFL or whatever to sell firearms, so he would sell you the piece of paper, but the gun was free, just as whatever the price of this piece of paper was the auction price of what it became.
Technically, yep.
I mean, I'm selling you this napkin, but this over here goes with it's part of the napkin. So, I mean, so they couldn't legally get him for selling the weapon. They said they got him for selling the piece of paper. That was but that was all you could, that was the way he got around the FFL part of the thing, to get it transferred, whatever it is.
Gunpowder CRS was found guilty. And the other guy who actually made those key cards. So all you people who own lasers, don't do any metal etching or you could get busted for something you don't know what you're doing.
Wonder when he's going to get sentenced.
What did he do?
There was a fellow that were making these metal key cards about the size of a credit card.
Okay.
And it had little etchings on it. And if you cut along those etchings, it was parts you could put in your AR to make it full auto.
Doesn't full automatic get you a certain amount of years in jail if you don't have the right licensing?
Yes, but drawing and picture does not, technically.
Well, it does now.
He fabricated a pot to make.
No, he did not. He drew a picture of a part on a piece of metal. In other words, if you sat there and drew out a knife, if you sat there and drew a slingshot out on a piece of metal where you could cut along the lines, but you didn't, to make a slingshot, the feds could bust you because slingshots are illegal in your state. That's what the dude got busted for.
I split this.
And they couldn't technically bust him for a machine gun. It was all conspiracy bullshit. Conspiracy to whatever.
Right, but he's showing you how you can. Yeah, I mean, I can see why he's arrested, to be honest with you.
Technically, yeah, but it's bullshit because technically he got arrested for having an idea and scratching it on a piece of metal.
Yeah, well,
they're pushing the fine line of, you're in trouble because you said something out loud or you had a bad thought, so now they can arrest you for something.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, multi-gunman, what's up?
That's right up there with Stump wanting to sell me give me his the P, what was it? The P what?
Beretta.
No. The SIG that has the interchangeable barrel.
Right.
The was it 3?
The SIG 250, P250.
Yeah, something like that. Does it go from, what is it, 357 to 40 or I forget how it went. But anyway, that was the one that didn't have any numbers on it.
Yeah, but it would be more like Stump drawing a picture of said P and giving it to you and you get busted for it. Not actually giving you the physical thing. Because the physical thing actually works. The other thing is just a drawing. It does nothing.
I mean, he was the guy's walking a tightrope. I mean,
Yes.
let's not sugarcoat it, okay? The guy knew what he was doing.
Well,
okay?
you missed the part about we were talking about poking the bear and being a dumbass.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what he was doing. So if he took a chance, and guess what? He rolled the dice, and guess what? He rolled craps. So
yeah, but I don't think he should be convicted for what they're trying to convict him for. He didn't plan on anybody doing this or doing that or conspiracy to go after
right,
a
but he
governor
technically. But you also have to put into consideration the mindset of the country right now. Well, most of the country right now. Okay, when it comes to guns. Okay, so my opinion. I mean, my thing is that use your fucking head.
Well, that's a very popular opinion right now, but still, if you think
your head.
Yeah, but still,
whether it's legal or illegal is totally another. That's another argument. It's two separate things, right?
Yep.
So the legality is way over here. Do I want to do this because I know, like you said, Stevie, right? And I love that analogy, poking the bear. I know I'm poking the bear. Am I willing to do this? Well, he made that decision.
Well, true. He took it on full adult. He wasn't tricked into nothing.
Nope. Right. So
and nobody didn't say he was not a dumbass. But technically in laws, I don't think he broke a law. He was pushing that fucker. But it wasn't like he was actually making the parts or selling the parts or.
Oh, he was selling them.
No, the cards.
He was selling them. That's why he got 8 counts. Conspiracy is one of them, but then distributing and selling and causing to be sold the black cards with the auto seals drawn on them.
Yeah, he was selling a drawing, not a machine gun part.
Right, but he was selling those cards, those metal cards. So
if he would have been cutting them out, folding them up like they're supposed to be folded, hell yeah, go to prison. Closed case. But he wasn't.
Gerald B says they got him on 5 out of 8 charges, and the other guy found guilty of 14. So they did something that was fucking retarded. And Gerald B says, but even in court, the ATF couldn't even get them to work.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter whether they work or not. It's like robbing a bank, right? You put your finger in your pocket and you go like this. Guess what? Doesn't really matter if it worked or not.
The other guy was the one. The other guy was the one making them.
Yeah.
The other guy was the one making them, and then CRS was distributing and selling them, and then advertising them on his channel.
Yeah, causing the sale. I don't think he physically sold them, but he was advertising for the guy.
This guy had a fucking YouTube channel doing on YouTube.
Yeah, CRS is a big
CRS
channel.
Firearms. I know you've seen him, Matthew Hoover.
Young guy, tats all down his arm, tribal tats down his arm.
What the fuck was he thinking?
Carries a paddle and shit and points at a whiteboard.
How many years did he get?
I don't know yet.
He's not been sentenced yet.
Oh, I bet he does at least 10.
Hadn't even gone to court.
I guarantee he'll do 10.
This guy, Mikey.
Stevie, can you blow that up?
Excuse me?
The guy?
Can you
Yeah, hold on.
present Ohio?
It's not present anymore. It's solo layout.
Oh, sorry. Can you solo layout Ohio? Yeah, he does look familiar. So they got him, the poor prick, huh? Well,
Yeah.
well, you know, he isn't an idiot. So he had to have known that there was a chance that they could go south.
Absolutely.
He just got out of prison, didn't
It was for the same charge. They let him out until they trumped up some more charges.
he? Oh,
Yeah, but my point is they're basically busting a guy for a thought or being intelligence, to come up with those parts.
Well, I don't know. I mean, a thought is, hey, can you imagine if you can do this with a card? That's one thing. But he put his thought onto paper or onto a card, if you will. That's a little bit different. I don't know. It's a slippery.
100% agreed. I wouldn't have done something like that because I'm scared of iron bars in my face.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Well,
no
that's the whole
thanks.
thing.
Let me know when war breaks out and I might participate. But all this pre-war bitching with a bunch of friends and shit, no, ain't doing it. I don't join groups. Groups get you into trouble.
Yeah, I mean,
ain't enough
it's,
trouble over in this side.
Hence my neighbor. I wasn't in his group. Although he was cleared of all charges.
right.
But
Tell me about the
holy
fight.
crap, did the FBI turn in a pro-United States flag saluting military background family into stay off my property anti
Government.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they totally flipped that family.
And this is what happens when you have, like you were talking earlier when we were talking about the bombings, right? And this is what happens when you do something or say something to somebody in an unprofessional manner or do something while you need to do something in an unprofessional manner. It turns them sour.
Especially with the red flag laws coming or trying
And
to come.
so unfortunately, your neighbor is now, sour because of whatever incident that happened to your neighbor. It's that's why instead of doing, I'm not knocking your neighbor, don't misunderstand me. All I'm saying is, and this is the reason why I am the way I am, that when I run into people like that, whether it's law enforcement, whether it's a judge, whether it's whatever, okay, and they're not professional. If I'm professional to them, but it's not received back, if I'm being either demeaned or whatever, well, now my attitude just went like that, and now I'm going to treat you like you are the biggest piece of shit on the face of the fucking planet, and I don't give a fuck who you are. Okay? And that's just how I am. If I'm treating you kind, if I'm treating you respectfully, and you come off, that's why all the cops I've ever argued with are the only ones I've ever argued with, I should say, are the ones that thought that they were above me and better than me, and I have a badge and you don't, and da 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 da. Well, okay, you can feel that way, but please don't think for a half a second that I'm going to submit and be submissive and be, oh, okay, officer, and because that's never going to happen.
Right.
And it doesn't happen with regular people either. You don't even have to have a badge. That happens with my work people, with anybody. Look, I get when people are in a bad mood, and I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when somebody's putting somebody down, thinking that they're higher or better than you for whatever reason. No, go fuck yourself.
Yep.
And that's why I tell people, go fuck yourself.
Like you were saying about that young boy, his father said that he was brave. He was telling the court.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah. Basically, the head FBI guy in that case disappeared. See ya.
You were in the wrong.
Hey, Mikey, I got something to say to you.
What's that, bud?
You will respect my authority.
Yeah, right on. Fucking Buford. Buford, where's your stick, Buford?
I can't believe this shirt still fits.
Well, but don't forget, Ohio. I do tell people all the good things about the good law enforcement officers that I've come across too. So, I'm just saying that I treat people. I was told a long time ago by my father, treat people the way you want to be treated. I change it a little bit. I do that, but I also treat people the way they treat me.
Yeah.
And that's just how I have been pretty much my entire goddamn life.
You get what you dish out.
Probably even worse now that I don't drink than it was when I was drinking. You know, when I was drinking, I was more, I can't do that because I'll get in trouble, or I don't want to say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's going to shine a light on me.
Yeah. You
Wink,
know,
wink.
so, but now that I don't drink, it's like all of a sudden the filter went away, and it's like,
Well, like
know?
my wife, like she was always talks about like when we were out in public where we used to live. It was a small town and everything, and I'd see people at the grocery store, whatever that I've dealt with, and they would be like, "Oh man, hey, what's up?" They call me by my last name and everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hey, how's it going?" And they're like, "Hey man, I just want to let you know I'm actually turning my life around doing this, blah, blah." And then he's like, "Oh, is this your wife?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Let me tell you, this guy's, he's the only one that ever treated me fairly and all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. And, if it wasn't for him, I'd probably, still be stupid and doing stupid stuff and everything. And I was just, my thing was, man, people make mistakes. So, don't destroy them and don't destroy their life over one mistake. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then you got assholes that just over and over and over and over again that just never learn a fucking lesson.
Right.
Which most of them they keep letting out of jail all the time.
Right.
And that's the ones we're having the real trouble with. But
Dude,
it's okay. Kind of like the whole shooting incident that just happened.
It's so
You're not hearing about it on the main news.
It's so ridiculous to see the same names over and because I work like administration now, so I see all the paperwork and everything that comes through, goes to the court and everything like that, and it's the same names every fucking couple weeks. It's the same guys and same girls and same over and over, same charges. And it's like, wait, did we just was that the same person? And he's like, well, wait, is this the same case? No, it's a different fucking case. Oh,
Yep.
so they caught her again with fucking meth and child endangering. Yes. Oh, well, how did she get out the first time? Oh, they released her on a personal bond. So she went to jail. Kids got taken away from her. Then they released her on a personal bond, give the kids back to her, and then 2 days later, she's caught with more meth and endangering children, and she's passed out, and the kids are walking down the street at 3 o'clock in the morning in their fucking diapers.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. But then she goes to court, and they give her another PR bond. But somebody like me does something stupid,
because I don't want to put an
they
addict.
make a mistake, and then I don't get a PR bond. I got to post $10,000 fucking dollars, and I'm stuck in jail. Then I lose my job and everything.
Being a recovering alcoholic, here's what I think they should do with all the fucking drug people, right, and the alcohol people too, right? Because there's a lot of them out there too, right? Is put them in an automatic. What do you call it?
Rehab.
Not so much jail, but
detox.
but a detox that you cannot, because 95% of your detoxes you can sign yourself out.
Sign yourself out and walk away.
Okay,
Yeah.
but be put in one where you can't.
Well,
So
I know
you're locked down. You're locked down. Okay. However, during the day, you're going to meetings, you're talking to a counselor, you're talking to other people with the same fucking issues you have, okay? And they should keep them in there for like a fucking year. And just do that. I just don't see where
Unfortunately, in
You
the
know?
USA, all the state-run places like that, they closed them all down.
Yeah.
Most
Yeah.
of them.
That-
I know with a mental institution, if you check yourself in, you can check yourself out. But if you're put in there
Yeah.
by a judge or a cop or whatever, you cannot sign yourself out.
That is
Or
correct.
if Susie puts you in there, and then your butt can get. She's got to sign
I
you
took
out. So you better be nice. To
I was given the opportunity because I beat the piss out of this guy that called my mother a bitch. He was flying up and down. I used to live on a dead end street, and he flew down the street. And my mother yelled at him, told him to slow, because there's 19 million kids in my neighborhood, you know. And my mother yelled at him to slow because there was a bunch of kids in the street. He flipped her off, told her to fuck off. Now, you get down, you have to come back up at some point. So I come pulling the driver. What's the matter? You look all pissed off. He says, oh, some guy just flipped me off, told me to fuck off, and blah, blah, blah. She didn't say fuck. I'm still trying to get her to say fuck you to me, but she never won't. But she swore at me about blah. I said, what's he driving? So she told me. I stood out there and waited. Sure as fuck, 20 minutes later, he come driving back up the street. I park my car across the street. I walk over to the car. I go, hey, quick question for you. He says, yeah, what's up? I said, a lady over here. I said, had glasses. He says, yep. I said, did you happen to flip her off and tell her to fuck off? He's like, yeah, I did. I went, that's unfortunate. And I just started wailing the fucking piss out of him through his fucking window. I mean, his window was down, you know what I mean? But I just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so that made it okay.
Well, yeah. So I start wailing the piss out of him. Now I get him halfway out the car, and I'm just slapping the fucking shit out of him. The old lady across the street who didn't really like me too much calls the cops. So I let him go, and I said, listen, don't come down the street again and talk to her like that. And do whatever you do, don't come down the street again and ever drive that fast. Do we have an agreement here? And he's like, you're a fucking asshole. I said, I might be an asshole, but you're going to get your ass kicked one more time, and then you're going to go to I'm going to put you in the hospital if you fucking do it again. Do you hear me? He's like, I'm sorry. I said, good boy. Then I turn around, there's a fucking cop standing there. He's like, Mike, what's going on? And so the kid told him what happened. So the cop said, all right, get out of here. I'll take care of him. So I look at the cop. I'm like, Timmy, what do you mean you're going to take care of me? I said, nothing's going to happen to me. He says, Mike, you just fucking tuned the guy sitting in his car. I said, yeah, you see, I says he talked to my mother a certain way. Shouldn't have. Flying down the street, shouldn't have. He's, yeah, but this is my job. You called us, Mike. I said, yeah, but you're not going to beat the fuck out of him like you need.
Yeah, you'll be here 20 minutes after he's gone.
Yeah.
Or after he ran over a kid.
He goes, Mike, you got two choices here. I go, what's that? He goes, I arrest you for assault and battery. He said, you can go do 72. Well, 72 what?
72 hours.
He says, you can go do 72 hours. I goes, does 72 hours go on my record? He goes, not on your police record. And I went, when do I have to do 72? He says, now. I'm like, you kidding me? He says, no.
So he pink slipped you.
So I said, am I allowed to smoke before I go? He says, weed? I go, no, I want a cigarette. Am I allowed to smoke? He says, no, you'll be all right. I'm like, all right, cool. I said, can I go get a change of clothes? He goes, Mike, you don't need clothes when you go to 72. He says, they put you in their clothes. I'm like, oh, marvelous. I'm like, all right, let's go. Told my mother, I said, see you later, man, I got to go.
Wow.
So they buy voluntarily, well, sort of voluntarily. We went down to the police department. He had to get some form or something. And he filled out the form at the police department and made me sign it. There was a number on it. I wish I could remember the number of this form.
5150.
But it stated it was
Crazy.
Stated was
Cop code for crazy.
How do you know that?
no. It basically was.
Panhandling.
Yeah, it basically just stated that I was going to, blah, blah, blah. And so, I mean, I'm sure that paperwork is still in the police department somewhere, but At least it never made the. It's not in my record. I've seen my record, so it's not in there. So. But yeah.
Did he allow you to check yourself in, or did he sign you?
Oh no, I had the choice. Either I get arrested again, and I'm like, nah, I don't
Again?
Yeah. So it's like, so I don't want another one. You know what I mean? So it's like,
oh crap! I hate when that happens.
usually I should get PC'd. You know what I mean? Like if I get in a regular bar fight or something, and neither one of us wants to fucking press charges or whatever, but we've caused enough damage with the neighbors that we had to do something. They'll put us in the back of the cruiser. You go down to the police station. They open the jail cell. They close it, and then you're gone 6, 7, 8 hours later. You go home.
Sleep it off.
Yeah, pretty much. They used to call it PC in it. I don't know what the proper terminology is called, but
now they call fights like that now what? Mutual combat, and then there's no charges. They even do it for gangs with guns and shit. Oh, it was mutual combat. We don't need to call the news.
That's the other thing about these gangs, right? Is Stump still here? He'll tell you. If an MC club does something illegal with their colors on, they get in trouble because it comes under some whatever.
Oh god, yeah.
It's the same thing with the mafia, right? The mafia, it automatic. They made it a.
If you're known to be in the club.
Yeah, but they made it. Was it not the ROTC? You idiot! It's an R. I forget the name of it, but it's an automatic jail sentence for like 10 years, no matter what the charge it is.
Right.
Why don't they have that for these fucking Crip gangs? These fucking.
They're supposed to.
613, whatever the fuck they are, people, whatever the fuck the number is. Why can't these gangs?
I'm pretty sure there is, but they've been letting them walk. The in Chicago, they made a grand announcement. We are no longer making cases against and went right down the road, and all the bad guys like, sweet, we're going for it. That's why they're ripping off Walmarts to the point where they're closing stores all over Chicago because people just walk in, grab an armload of shit under $1,000 and walk out. Nobody can do nothing to them.
Well, yeah, that's because they decriminalized shoplifting, right?
Yeah. Did you see all the teenagers taking over downtown Chicago the other night?
No.
Running around, busting windshields, kicking in windows, attacking people.
And they're not being arrested for it?
No. Well, I guess one person got shot or something like that. But
there's a shock if somebody gets shot in Chicago.
The news is putting a spin on it because all these teenagers are talking to other teens on these websites. They're going to do it again shortly. It's already planned and ready to go. The news is putting a spin on it because it's like 80 to 90% black teenagers. Oh, they're going to start racial profiling teens now. Putting a big wham, wham, wham on it. So basically, the cops just stood there and let the kids run amok, smashing windshields. They beat up a woman and her boyfriend, beat the crap out of them. And some good Samaritan had to force a cop to stop. The cop was driving by, watching it happen, and was going to keep going. The lady ran out in the street and got in front of the cop car to stop them, to make them break it up. That's how effed up they are in that city and many other cities.
And Illinois, especially in the city of Chicago, because I know Illinois' gun laws are gun laws, but then there's a special thing. It's like Chicago has their own little spin on fucking guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like New York City, right? So
Yeah.
New York State's gun laws are their gun laws, but then New York City says, "Oh yeah, okay, well, you can't do this with a gun in the city, and you can't do that, you can't do that."
Yeah, which
But-
got shot down in court, by the way.
But I just think that I just say this: if you got these gang of kids that want to kill each other, bring them to fucking to where the Cubs play baseball, and,
There you
and
go.
let them fucking kill each other.
Hey, Steve, earlier, I'm sorry I was muted because I was doing something, but you said like mutual combatants or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah,
He
we
did.
charge both.
Yeah. See, we never got shot. I shouldn't say we never, but if it was just a simple fight, they would PC us, Ohio, right? So they take us, put you in a cell, and let you go out and let you go home the next morning. I don't know if they still do that, but
No, it's unconstitutional to put somebody on a hold, like what they call like an 8-hour hold or sober up hold or something like that.
oh really?
Because you have to, with the Fourth Amendment, you have to give them a bond, right? Unless it's a serious charge like a felony that is the bond is set by the judge. So, and like they consider domestic an escalating or serious crime. So a lot of times domestics, if it's a domestic with an assault, you'll sit in jail until the judge sets your bond.
Buddy Light, what's happening? Nice to see you.
If it's a verbal domestic or whatever, and you're arrested because you made threats or whatever, it's usually, you get like a $5,000 bond, 10%, so like $500 or whatever.
Mike Buddy Light is asking, do you mean like racketeering, influenced, or corrupt organizations act?
RICO. Yep, that's it. That's exactly what I mean, Buddy Light. Thank you for being on the ball, sir. Yes. So if you're in that kind of, the RICO statute, and these kids don't have anything like that. You know what I mean? And they should.
I know in some states they do. If they're a known gang member, they have a whole list of them.
Well, RICO's federal. You can't. That's a federal statute.
Got you.
Well, that's part of my job when I'm when I'm doing the reports and stuff. If it's juvenile, like if I'm dealing with the juvenile charge, usually most of ours in our city is like unruly or in possession of like tobacco products or drugs or alcohol or something like that.
Tobacco products.
Huh?
I'd have been arrested every other fucking day for tobacco products.
Yeah, well, they changed the law to 21 now, so
I don't care. Again, I would be arrested every fucking day.
So the thing is, when I'm doing that report, and we have a reporting system that goes to the county and the state, it asks me multiple questions that involve, and like with the juvenile, is it gang related? And I have to, I got to read the report and then I got to answer that, you know. And if it's like gang related, I just click no, and I just click no because it's not gang related. If by chance we ever have a gang related thing and it is gang related, I won't know what to do because I've never had one.
Lucky.
5 years there, never had, I've never had to check yes on, is this a gang related incident,
Yeah, don't ever go to Cleveland.
I almost did.
I went to the Cleveland Clinic and I had to go over that bridge, and it's just miles of slum. Looked hard.
Oh, that's nothing. That's nothing. I'll take. Come on. You know what?
I've only been out.
If you come out east, I'll take you to New York City, and I'll take you through fucking Harlem.
I've been to Delaware and back twice. That's good enough for me.
Do Harlem in a 72-foot long truck.
We
Yeah.
went
You
yeah,
didn't-
really
you-
wrong turn
you-
in Philadelphia.
West Harlem's all right, but East Harlem,
Yeah. Yep.
you better have at least an AR on your back, a couple of sidearms on each side.
Yeah, it's illegal in that state.
Yeah, it's illegal. You can't have that kind of stuff.
I know, but you know
Bad
what?
guys are okay with it, but not not law-abiding citizens.
Yeah, the old man used to haul cars down Jerome Avenue, and he literally had to lay the side of that car carrier up against the light poles to knock them off, trying to steal the wire up all
Wow.
cars going in there.
Hey, Steve, I'm gonna drop out real quick and come back in and see if it connects to my Wi-Fi. Hold on.
Okay. And that's it for you.
Buddy Life, by the way, how you been, brother? Great to see you. But yeah, so it some of these laws they don't
apply.
They don't apply to different people, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Well, if they would just apply the laws they got.
Wait a minute. Wouldn't that make you privileged if the laws didn't apply to you?
Well, yeah. I'm wicked privileged. Yep.
Cool, buddy. Nice to see you, man.
What are they?
Should I let him back in? Okay.
Yeah, let me back in, asshole. I'm connected now. I can actually hear what you're saying.
I almost forgot. I checked my channel today. Big shout out for somebody who's been around for a long time for subbing to my channel. Finally. Homeless guy with Wi-Fi, wherever you are. Thanks for subbing, bro.
Hey, homeless guy with Wi-Fi.
That's awful nice of him.
I heard he's a pretty cool dude.
Well, I subbed him back. Ain't got much content on his channel. He could work on that, but.
Well, hell, I had Shalisa one time, and then it was about a month ago. I realized I didn't have her on the channel again. So
right.
YouTube unsubscribed me. So.
I mean, I don't know what kind of content you expect this guy to have on his channel when he's homeless, man.
Hey, even what was that? Fridays had this old box.
This old box.
That was so cool. Then we have to get some adhesive. Oh
my God!
Was that Living Color or Fridays?
I think that was Living Color because that was Damon Wayans.
Yeah.
And he had the jar. His bathroom was that big jar with the yellow piss and the turd floating in it.
Yeah.
And
that was so
epic.
epic.
Jar of piss with the turd floating in it.
Oh, that's just wrong. Oh, that's like what's his name? Bill Murray and fucking
Caddyshack with the
Caddyshack fucking emptying the pool. And he fucking,
the Baby Ruth.
Oh, there's a fucking cucker in the pool. And then he bites it. Oh, it's a Baby Ruth. Oh,
hey, conservative, nice to see you.
Conservative.
Steak and shrimps. Hey, it's almost barbecue season. Whoop whoop.
No, but I don't understand. They call it racial profiling and stuff, and I guess because I grew up in a town that only had like maybe 2 or 3 black families in it. And if you were from a different town and you were driving through, you weren't pulled over just because you were black or Latino or Asian or
stranger danger.
In the town that I grew up in, if you were pulled over, I'm going to guarantee you at least 99%, at the very least 99%, you were doing something wrong.
Right.
That the reason for the 1% is because sometimes you were pulled over and got your balls broke, or sometimes you were pulled over so they let you know to go. Now, this is back in the day. I know they don't really do this much anymore, but back in the day, I remember that I was told that there was a warrant out on me. So I get pulled over. And it's a kid that was 2 years ahead of me in high school, went to school with my older sister. And he just saw me in traffic. So he spun around and he pulls me over and he goes, "Mike," I go, "What's up?" And he goes, "Listen to me." He goes, "We didn't have this conversation, but I'm going to tell you, you got to go to Woburn and fix your warrant." I'm like, "What the fuck warrant do I have?" He goes, "I got you on a warrant for not paying
ticket.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, because I have a driver's license because I already sent that check in. He goes, just trust me when I tell you, Mike. He says, because if I put it in if I call it in right now and they put it in, I have to arrest you.
Right.
He goes, and Mike, there's no bond on that. We hold you until you go to court Monday morning. I'm like, okay, no problem. I says, I'll go Monday. I walk in the courtroom Monday and I'm like, yeah, hi. I says, found out there's a warrant against me. And they're like, yeah, what's your name? I go, Mike DeLucia, blah, blah, blah. I give my license. They're like, yep. They go, would you like to fix that today? I was, well, yeah, that's why I'm here. Okay, you're going to stand in front of a judge, $50, blah, blah, blah. I said, why do I stand in front of a judge? I'll just give you the $50 for call it a day. I can get out of here. And they're like, nope, because then you have to sign. I'm like, all right, whatever. So I go in and they go, how do you? I'm like, I'm very sorry. I didn't, $50 for a fucking warrant. Like I'm a fucking hardened criminal. But yeah, so you're only gonna get pulled over if you do something wrong. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a kid, white, pink, purple, black, Asian, fucking whatever you are, doesn't really matter. If you don't do something wrong, chances are you're gonna get pulled over.
So make sure your blinkers and brake lights are all working, and
if you
don't have a driver's license or you're suspended,
don't
fucking drive.
I can't say that.
Listen, the people that drive without a driver's license or a suspended driver's license, they know they don't have one. They know they're suspended, and they go out and they get a 1996 Buick LeSabre, tan in color, with the fucking 30-day tag on it. That's probable cause right there, fucking there, And then they don't have a fucking headlight, and they don't have any brake lights, and they go out and they're stupid, and then they want to fucking blame the cops for their actions. Yeah. Come the fuck on.
Yep.
Jesus. Hey,
that's why I miss. That's why I miss the old days.
50 years old, and I've been arrested 0 times. I've been to jail 0 times. It's not that fucking hard.
It is, actually. It is.
No, it's not. Just to fucking be a good human being and doesn't fucking happen to you.
I'm a good human being. I still got arrested.
No, you're beating people up for cussing at your mom and shit.
So what? That's what we did back in the day.
You're fucking common days Boston street thug.
Hey, listen. This is just the way life is, bro. This is just the way life is.
No, seriously though, it's really not that hard not to go to jail. It's really not.
What did I get arrested? I got arrested for.
Damn, Gerald, way to keep up on it, bro.
What did I get arrested for? I got arrested for.
Thank God we don't have to have inspection stickers. Oh my God.
Get caught, Ohio.
Well, I got my DUI. My other issue, my one that got thrown out, the A and B on the cop that got thrown out because it was a stupid charge, where I actually did not assault a police officer,
I heard Steve say that's because I never got caught. Well, you know what? That's probably true when I was younger, but when I was old enough to fucking really know better, you just don't do stupid shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean,
but I am going to tell you something. My brother's a cop, and you people are the fucking worst offenders that there are. I get in his vehicle to take his vehicle. I come home, and he's texting me at a red light. I text him back. I'm at a red light. I go, by the way, you need a fucking sticker. He goes, yeah, that's why I'm texting. He goes, don't do anything stupid. Not 10 seconds later, I get pulled over.
Wow.
The cop says to me, I go, it was a red light. I was on my phone, but it was a red light. He goes, oh, I don't give a fuck about that. He goes, I saw you. He says, I care more about the sticker on the window. And I go, did you run me? He goes, yeah. I go, that doesn't give an occupation, does it? He goes, no, why? I go, does your vehicle have a sticker on it? And he looked at me, he goes, what? I goes, your personal vehicle, does it have a sticker on it? He goes, yeah. I go, is it in, is it in within the
Is
law?
it valid
You know,
up
like,
to date?
is it valid? He goes, as far as I know. I said, well, let me tell you something. This is my brother's truck. I says, and he's a cop. And you would think that a cop would have a fucking sticker on his fucking windshield.
Throw him under the bus.
And he goes, really? He goes, where's the cop? I goes, over the VA. He goes, you're kidding me. I goes, no. I goes, you want me to call him? He goes, no. He goes, I'll let you go. He goes, I'll let you go. He says, tell him to get a fucking sticker. I says, 10-4, no problem. I get to my house. Hey, asshole, you need a sticker. I says, fucking low PD just grabbed me.
He probably
Like,
called
no way.
the cops right after he got done texting you.
He's like, no way. I'm like, yeah. He goes, what happened? I goes, I was texting you at the light. And he was probably looking at me as, you know, I go, but I was at a stoplight. I wasn't texting and driving. And
Well,
I said,
one of the.
"God."
Oh, go ahead. Finish.
So I said, you know, he must have saw, you know, looked at the windshield. I said, so he pulled me over, you know? And I goes, and you don't have a fucking sticker and you got a bad sticker. Me? I haven't had a sticker in my fucking, I have one. That thing's like fucking 5 years old. You know?
We have she got a new car now, but girl I worked with, she had a little Volkswagen Bug or whatever.
Fuzz for it. What's up?
And the windshield was totally cracked, like all the way across, and it was like line of sight, you know.
Oh yeah.
That's your major ticket here in Ohio is a cracked windshield.
That's a ticket here too. You're gonna get it if it goes.
And I looked at her and I was like, you know, you've been here for 3 years and that fucking windshield has been broken for 3 years. I said, you have insurance and you know that shit. Every insurance company will replace a windshield for free, and you don't even have to pay your fucking deductible. That's just about in every fucking policy under glass replacement.
Taking notes.
You know, I used to work for glass company, and
yeah, but the thing is, as soon as you get a new windshield, you get a crack in it.
yeah,
Never fails.
So I told her, I say, listen, because I'm the one that like enters all the tickets and everything, and I was like, if I ever catch you writing a ticket for a fucking windshield violation, I'm going to fucking like destroy you. And she's like, I know. And I'm like, you know, I said, you've known for 3 years. I said, get your fucking window replaced. She's like, but I'm trading it in on a new car. I'm like, you'd probably get a better trade in if you had a new windshield in it and it's free. And then mine gets cracked or whatever, but it's like just a little tiny thing. And I was like, I know they can fix, like, they just like inject it with the shit and they stop it from cracking more from the epoxy. So the guy comes out and he goes, yeah, I can do that. Not a problem. He's like, you know, you're going to see it now though. I was like, what? He's like, when I put the epoxy in, he's like, you can't see the crack right now. You only see the divot. He's like, but there's a crack there. When I put the epoxy in, it's going to fill that crack up and then you'll see it more. But it's all the way down low to the bottom of the windshield. He's like, so it's not in your line of sight, so I can do it and it shouldn't bother you. Man, that shit bothers me more now than it did before. Every time I get in, I look at it because I know it's there. And I'm like, I should just fucking pushed on it and cracked the whole windshield and had the windshield replaced.
Maybe, I don't know about anybody else. Maybe two ATVs can relate to this. Here's what I hate driving. All of a sudden, I'll be going up Interstate 95 or 93 or whatever, right? And I'll see a mile marker. And guess what? Then I see every fucking mile marker after it.
Yep.
And I'm like, ah! And I do my best to concentrate on something else. Get the radio blasted. It don't matter. I'm singing a song. I look over the mile marker. It's just, dude, it fucking kills me.
Dude, we had the
every mile marker on 95 all the way up. I mean,
now we have the mile markers here. We don't have like mile 1, mile 2, mile 3. We have mile 1. We have mile marker 1, and then right after it, you got 1.1, then 1.2, then 1.1.
Well, we don't have 1 point. They go by 2/10 here.
Whatever they go by, I'm just like, Jesus Christ! Is there anything that we can get to spend our money on more than fucking these? God, you know, every mile's fine. I don't need to know that
I broke down on the truck one day, Ohio, right?
Save your life.
And sometimes I don't know if you guys have them, but we have every so many miles there's like an extra breakdown lane. And because our breakdown lanes during certain hours of the day are used for traffic, okay?
Yeah.
So they have these extra breakdown lanes. So I called Massachusetts State Police and I told them, I said, I'm broke down, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I'm going to be a while for a wreck. I said, I just called. I said, they said I'm going to be like 2 hours. So he says, where are you? So I told him, I'm at mile marker 38.4. He starts laughing. He goes, yep, you're a truck driver. He says, do you know what town you're in? And I go, yeah, Andover. He goes, next time, just tell me Andover. I'm like, oh, all right. I says, I'm northbound Andover, 38.4. He started laughing his ass off, right? He goes, all right. He goes, I go, I'm not in the regular breakdown lane. I'm in the emergency one. He goes, oh, good. You were able to make it there? I said, yeah. He says, all right. He goes, do me a favor. I go, what? He goes, you got your triangles. I go, they're already out. He goes, okay, great. He goes, I just want to make sure. I said, oh, no, they're already out. He goes, okay. He goes, I'll come. He says, there'll probably be somebody go by, I'm like, okay, no problem. I said, I just want to let you guys know that, I'm going to be here a while. He's like, yep, no problem. So, but yeah, he was really cool about it, But
well, the stupidest ticket I ever got, I was going through Richmond, Virginia. There was a place on I-95 where they used to have toll booths through Richmond. Okay, well they took it out, but they've never straight leveled the ground out there. It's still rough as all get out going across it. Okay, I had just checked all the lights on my truck before I left the truck stop up there north of Richmond, and I get down into Richmond, and this son pulls the cop, comes up, let a car go, and all of a sudden he pulls in behind me with his lights on. So I pull over. He said, driver, when you come around that corner and hit that big bump up there in the road, you had one of your headlights went out. I said, okay, sir, I appreciate you. Appreciate you let me know about it. I said, it was working whenever I got up when I left the truck stop 20 miles up the road. And he said, well, he said, but since I got you pulled over, I might as well do a walk around and check all the other lights and stuff. And so I give him my license and I give him my permit book. And I thought, he's going to give me a warning ticket, right? After he checked all the lights were working except for the headlight. Well, but in the meantime, I've already got out the truck. I had a headlight in the side box. So I put a headlight in the doggone truck. And he come up there and handed me a $75 ticket. I said, sir, I've already changed my headlight in the truck. Well, and besides that, you seen the headlight go out. That was your words. I mean, what? How could I have seen this? It's 8:00 in the morning. I didn't need my headlights on anyway. But I mean, it was more.
Yeah, but you know what, ATV? That's a guy that tried to get laid that morning before he went to work, and his fucking wife said no.
Yeah.
That's just a guy being a fucking ball breaker.
And the donut budget was probably low.
Yeah.
Listen,
that's the guy breaking balls.
One of the funniest things I heard was other day they were talking about what to do when you get pulled over and stuff like that, and a lot of times if it's nighttime, go ahead and roll, turn your dome light on. That way when the cop walks up, he can see inside the car,
right.
Just stuff like that, little common courtesy things that would help go on. And one of the guys was just laughing and he said, oh, none of that shit matters, man. He's like, what determines whether or not you get a ticket or not is how bad my wife pissed me off before I left this morning or whatever. he said, if she, when I'm walking out, if she pisses me off, everyone's fucking getting a ticket. He said,
I had a guy.
I said, damn, dude, that's some hardcore shit.
Hey, ATVs.
This is coming. Hey, this is coming from the same guy who's probably only wrote 2 tickets in the past 5 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
ATVs. I had a Stady one time. He pulls me over, and I said, he comes to the window, and I went, "What'd I do?" He said, you don't have a seatbelt on. I said, you want to look again? Let me open the door. He moves over. I open the door. I go, look. Oh, because my seatbelt's not orange. It's gray. And I had a gray sweatshirt on. So I said, so yeah, I guess I'm good. He goes, well, I got you. I might as well check you. I goes, check me what? Yeah, I'll give you my license. He goes, well, I'll check anything I want. I goes, to a certain level, you will. He says, excuse me?
Ooh.
He goes, what? I goes, yeah, at a certain level, yeah. He goes, what do you mean at a certain level? I go, you're not DOT, right? He goes, no. I said, then you can only do a certain level inspection. You can only do a level 1 inspection. Do it here. I'll do any, all my lights and everything work, but we can do it all over again if you want. And he looked at me. And he goes,
So hang on real quick, Mikey. If he's doing a level 1 inspection,
yeah,
and then a DOT pulls up behind him,
DOT can do anything he wants.
Yeah.
then DOT can continue.
DOT can do anything he wants after that.
Okay, so basically, if he gets you pulled over and does a level 1 while he's doing level 1, the DOT can come and fucking really get up in your ass. Okay,
but he can't even look at my book though, right? The only thing that a regular, quote unquote, regular state trooper can do is, I mean, they're all state troopers, don't misunderstand me, but the DOT certified ones are different.
Yeah.
They really are. They're different. They're still state troopers, don't misunderstand me. That, like the Maine state troopers, New Hampshire, Mass, it all says Maine state troopers on it. They're
but they only pull over commercial vehicles. They don't pull.
No, they'll pull anybody over.
Pull over anybody.
Oh, really?
They'll pull over anybody, but they're DOT certified. If you're not DOT certified, you're only allowed to do what you can do to a car: headlight, brake light, directional, windshield safety. All around. All right, Connie.
A regular state trooper can't crawl all over your truck and check brake adjustments and stuff like that. But a DOT cop can go up. He can go get his creeper out. He can do all of the stuff underneath the truck, check everything out, and he can do it all. I mean,
hey, Helping Hound, nice to see a new face.
And also too, right, Ohio. So like TV was saying, right? But so they can only do level 1. Now he can't look at my driver log. It's not certified. So I said to him, I go, yeah. I said, so you're gonna do a level 1. You're gonna give me a regular headlight, blah blah blah. Yeah, we can do all that. And he just looked at me. He's like, I go, what? I go, I'm not wrong, right? He goes, no, you're not wrong. I said, so are we doing that? Or I said, if we're going to do that, I have to text my boss and let him know I'm going to be a little bit. And he's like, I said, because I'm not driving. The vehicle's in park. I said, so I can text here while you're doing your thing. I said, so I need to let these people know this. He goes, just give me your license and registration. I give him my license and registration. He goes back and says, have a good day, Mr. I know the law. And I go, you have a great night, Mr. You should know the law. And I drove off.
Wow.
But you're right. I know the law. You know why? Because I drive a fucking commercial vehicle. I need to know the fucking law, you fucking moron.
Well, imagine what he would get away with if he pulled up to a dumbbell.
Why would you drive how could you drive a vehicle, a commercial vehicle, and not know the law? You need to know the law. It's part of getting your you know what I mean? And it's like,
yeah, but there's some crazy daggum laws on the book for semi truck. Like if you're, I don't know what Connecticut does it anymore, but Connecticut used to say you had to have white sheets on your bed in your sleep of your truck, and white sheets, and everything had to be the sheets and everything else on the bed had to be white. And what that was case you come up on a wreck, you could use those white sheets to make tourniquets or whatever else out of it.
Right.
Tear it up, and I mean, there was all kinds of stuff that Connecticut used to get you for. I mean,
But now
was,
here in Mass, right? So Massachusetts doesn't allow the trucks to go out in the third lane. All right. They only have on a 4-lane highway, on a 4-lane one way. Okay. So northbound traffic, that's 4 lanes. 4 lanes of traffic going north. The trucks are only allowed to use first and second on the right-hand side. We're not allowed to use the third lane. So, but New Hampshire and Maine, you can. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, there's an accident. They close the lane. So I move over. Right?
I got plenty.
I move over. So now there's 3 lanes of traffic. I'm allowed to drive in the middle lane on a 3-lane road. I'm allowed to drive in the middle lane.
Mm-hmm.
State trooper leaving the scene pulls me over. I go, how could I be in trouble here? And he goes, excuse me? I go, we're in traffic. What could I have possibly done wrong? And he goes, oh, you're one of those guys that doesn't think you did anything wrong? And I go, today I am, yes. At this very moment I am, yes. I've done nothing wrong. I got my seatbelt on. I go, I use my directional to change lanes when you pulled me in. I go, but even before your lights went on, I said, I'm certainly not speeding. I'm certainly not tailgating anybody. I said, so, and I know the outside of my truck is fine. So why am I being pulled over? He said, well, you're in the middle lane, and this is Massachusetts. I go, yep, I am. He goes, however, there's a bad accident that you know about, right? He goes, you being a wise ass? I goes, no. I says, here's where I'm going to be a wise ass, but a truthful wise ass. I go, how many lanes of the highway are there right here? He said 4. I goes, wrong. You closed one. How many lanes of traffic do we have here today, officer? 3. How many in on a 3-lane highway in the state of Massachusetts are the trucks allowed to use the middle lane? The answer to that question would be yes.
No.
And he's like, he's looking at me, he's going, and I know in his head he's going, you fucking asshole. And that's fine. But I said to him, I go, so you're stopping me for doing something right, in other words. And he just looked at me. He goes, well, I can see your point. I go, what do you mean you can see my point? It's not a point. It's just, if you take 1 away from 4, it's 3, and I'm allowed to drive in this lane.
Hey, Mike, has anybody ever told you there's a time when there's a time to just, when he said, I see your point, that was the time to say, thank you. Have a wonderful day.
No, because you still asked me for my registration and my license and all that, and I still had to fucking get fucking held up for something I did right, so I'm pissed off. You know what I mean? It's like, well, and I love how they say it too, Steve, because they all say the same thing. Well, now that I have you, can I just run you?
Yeah.
And you know it's a 15, 20-minute run, and it's like, what the fuck? Don't hold me up when I'm 100% right. When I'm wrong, fuck me up my ass for the next 3 hours. I don't care. But don't hold me up when I'm right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just how I feel.
Well, I mean, but I might go up there. The breakdown lanes around Mass, they can at certain hours they are used as an extra lane. The first time I went up there, that confused the hell out of me. It scared me because I look at my daggone passenger mirror. And all of a sudden, here's a whole line of cars just all of a sudden veer off and take off up through the breakdown line.
Yep.
Now, let me get this straight. On a 4-lane highway, you have to use what lanes?
On a 4-lane going one way. All right, there's 4 lanes of traffic going one northbound.
First
A
two.
truck, a truck over a certain weight in the state of Massachusetts can only use the very first 2 to the far right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So on a 3-lane,
You can use on a 3-lane. I'm allowed to use the middle lane and the right lane, not the far left lane.
so you were in the right to start with. No
Yeah.
matter
Correct,
what.
and that's correct, and that's why I was pissed off, and that's why I gave him the business.
So
Because I did nothing
If
wrong.
it's a four, if it's a 4-lane, what lanes are you allowed to be in?
2. First 2.
Okay.
yeah, the 2
So
right
you're
lanes.
so you're allowed in the first 2 lanes, no matter if it's 4-lane or 3-lane.
Correct.
Yeah. So he was just being an asshole.
Yeah, I would have wrote you too. Fuck you.
See how these guys are, and they wonder why I get heated, you know. And again, if I'm in a 4-lane highway and I'm in the 3rd lane, guess what? You got me. I'm the idiot that was out here trying to fucking speed by the traffic, whatever. You got me. Do what you got to do.
I follow you, Mike.
But if I'm right, stay the fuck away from me, because now I'm just upset that you fucking ruined my fucking day.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, you're
Well-
right, Jezzo. In Maine, 3 lanes. In Maine, the other thing with Maine is that Jerry will Jezzo attest to this. 95 only goes to 2 lanes, right? And after I think it's after Portland, it goes to 2 lanes, and you can still use the left lane and all that if you're a truck or whatever, but you better only be in there to pass somebody.
Yeah.
If you're not passing somebody, you're in that lane, you're getting pulled over, because they have signs all over the place. Keep right except to pass. But here's the best part: the speed limit up there is 70 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
You can do 83 in that first lane. As long as you're in that first, they don't give a fuck.
Wow.
I do 80-something miles an hour all the time in there. They don't say fucking boo. I rock their cars as they're fucking parked. They don't say fucking boo.
Well,
You go in that left lane, it's all over.
well, let me bust Ohio's balls in there,
Aggressive.
because Ohio used to be it was 55 mile an hour for trucks.
Oh,
Cars could do 65, but they were all doing 85 to 90 miles an hour. Okay.
Yep.
Well, the daggum highway patrol set in hiding spots, and they would pull a truck over for 56 mile an hour. I have actually seen the ticket for 56 mile an hour.
Wow.
I mean, and so
Ohio's got quite the reputation. I heard that reputation even when I was a kid going to
Yeah.
see.
I mean, I have actually seen the ticket where the guy where he wrote it up for a 56 in a 55. So, I mean, that
was a long time ago, though, right?
Yeah.
Well, that was back in it probably it was in the 90s, I guess. But
Yeah, because today's
Yeah,
day
it's
and
like-
age, you get 2 miles an hour because they can't calibrate those for perfection. So
Yeah.
you get 2 miles an hour.
well, 99% of the country, the 99% of the states in the country will allow you 5 miles, 5 mile an hour
Correct.
over before they ever pull you over.
Right.
But
Right.
Ohio, the state of Ohio used to be they would bust your balls for 1 and 2 mile an hour. I mean, that was, and I mean, I remember a lot of times about said everybody was laughing and saying, "Well, I hope that damn radar causes their balls to rot off or
Which
whatever else." I
Right.
mean,
Don't the semis have a cap? They can only go a certain speed. They can't go over that.
Some trucks
Well,
do, some trucks don't.
governor,
some trucks,
that's what it's called.
Oh,
yeah.
Some
I
trucks do,
mean,
some trucks don't. It all depends. If your company wants to, if you're not an owner operator and you're working for a company, it's a company truck. That's if the company wants you to do a certain speed, yeah, they'll say set it for, like mine. They set mine. I'm not even a tractor trailer. I'm just in a box truck, but they originally set mine for 63 miles an hour. I went back to them. I go, when's this going back in? And they're like, why? I go, I'm not doing 63 miles an hour. I'm in a 70 mile an hour zone. Do you know what 63 miles an hour get you? Fucking killed.
Well,
I go, in a
with-
truck, it'll get me killed. I go, so do me a favor. This thing goes back in. I want this fucking thing up there. So I go to Ryder on the next PM, right? I got to wait like a month or whatever. I go to Ryder, and I said to the kid, I go, I got permission to have the governor changed. And they're like, oh, okay, what's up? I goes, it's at 63. I goes, and I go to Maine, and it's set for, the speed limit's at 70. And he goes, oh, you go up to, I said, I go all the way up to Bangor. He goes, all right, Mike, I'll set it for 75. I go, 75 is good, thank you.
Doesn't that affect your like takeoff speeds and stuff if it's got a governor on it like that?
No.
You still get the
Oh,
power
that's
out of it?
okay. So
No.
it does not. So it does not. It does not affect your takeoff speed and your
No.
acceleration speed.
No, it does not.
So please tell me, why in the fuck does it take some of these semis
Whoa, stop there.
fucking forever to get up to fucking 30 mile an hour on an
Okay,
entrance
The
ramp?
way it does.
Because I'm going to tell you, first of all, I'm in a box truck. ATVs is in a semi. Now, you got to remember, how big is a semi? Big.
53-foot trailer.
What are they carrying? If they're a construction thing and they're carrying fucking asphalt, they're carrying fucking 40,000 pounds of fucking asphalt. That's fucking heavy.
Well, they can carry up to 80,000 pounds.
Oh, it's good. Then you know that's awesome. How fast, what the pickup speed is going to be sucky because they're carrying fucking 40-ton, dude.
Yeah.
No, I understand it. But there are some trucks that are exactly the same. That driver will fucking jam them gears and get up to 65 mile an hour in no time at all. But then there's some dumbasses that you get behind that fucking will try to get you killed because they're trying to get on a goddamn freeway at 70 mile an hour. They're trying to enter on and change lanes at 30 miles an hour.
You know why? Because it all depends. Like if you pass an XPO truck or a FedEx freight truck or anything like that, a lot of those companies get paid. You get paid after 8 hours. You get paid after 8 hours in a workday. So,
Is that why the FedEx truck's so fucking slow to get on the freeway?
Now you're cooking with oil.
Because he's just dragging ass.
You won't. The only FedEx truck, the only FedEx trailer or tandem, right? The tandems will fly because they get paid by the mile, and when you're getting paid by the mile. Ask ATVs, he'll tell you when you're getting paid by the fucking mile, you want to go and get back as fucking quick as you can because now you're making money. All right. So those guys will fly. All right. Like the guys that I work with at XPO, they call them line haul guys. Okay. They'll go to Albany, New York. They'll go down to fucking, what do you call it in New York? I forget the name of the big, huge terminals down there, right?
Syracuse or something?
Yeah, no, not Syracuse. Down a little bit south, southern New York, right before the city. But it's like a 3.5 hour ride, 4 hour ride from where we are, right? But they will fly. Now, the city, as we call them, city guys. Those are the 53-footers, 48-footers, right? They're gonna go deliver shit to whatever XYZ company, right? And then they're going to do pickups at, ABC company when they're done with their deliveries. Those are the motherfuckers that are doing 30 mile an hour in a 50 mile an hour lane because they're getting 8 hours. They get time and a half after 8. Yeah. So if they start at 6 o'clock in the morning, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah,
and you got to remember they're making $56 an hour on overtime. I mean, how fast do you think they're gonna go?
Right. But if you're getting paid by the mile, if them wheels ain't rolling, you ain't making
shit.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So okay, so now I know what I'm gonna do when I see a semi flying. I'm gonna get in front of him and slow down.
I wouldn't. Let me tell you something. You better be in your cruiser when you do that. Because if you're not, and ATVs will tell you, because he's laughing, he already knows. If you're not, they will be. Do you ever watch a NASCAR race? You see how close they get to the ass end of another vehicle?
Yeah.
That motherfucker carrying 40 ton, he'll be up your ass doing 85 mile an hour, and he'll be 3 inches off your ass. And I'm not exaggerating. Ask
Long
ATV.
as he's not on my ass, long as he's 3 inches.
Yeah,
Well,
let me tell you,
yeah,
you'll
but-
move.
Yeah, but once you get so close, your car disappears in front of that truck. You don't.
Yep.
You don't even-
And your little Hyundai you drive, if you do that, because of the force of him, and he's flying, and you want to do how fast you want to go, 40, 50 mile an hour, right? Your car's going to do this.
Well, I don't have the Hyundai anymore, so.
Well, it don't matter. Whatever car you're in, it's going to do this. If you were in an SUV, it's going to go like this.
You're in the rocking chair?
Oh, yeah. You're going to get fucking rocked.
No. But I mean, the companies I work for, most everything was governed at 64 mile an hour. So, I mean, but it was all, you know, as far as changing the gears and all that, I could get up to speed, up to 64 mile an hour, but I run down my pedal, just no matter how hard I push that pedal, that was all as fast as that truck would run.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Now don't get me wrong. I don't hate truck drivers or anything like that. I'm just fucking with you guys. But I do tell you, I don't care if you're in a truck, a semi, a fucking taxi cab, a car. When you're trying to get on the fucking freeway,
yep,
and you're only doing 35 mile an hour, and you got a line of traffic behind you, I want to fucking shoot you
right in the forehead.
Like if I could get next to you, I would love to just be like, bam, get the fuck off
Yep.
the road. I can't stand them fucking people.
I'll give you one worse than that, Ohio. I'll give you one worse than that. They'll come on. It'll be like a long off ramp a long on ramp, and they'll see like 3-4 trucks. Now they do the reverse. They punch it on the off ramp. Now they're doing fucking 70 on the off ramp, right? Because they want to beat you. Nobody likes to be behind a truck. So now they want to beat you, right? So now they beat you. You let them in, whatever, right?
Then they slow down.
Now they're doing 40 mile an hour and a 65
Yeah.
mile an hour.
No, not that.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you and another thing there, Ohio, is the idiots that don't know how to merge to start with. You be running, you in that truck trying to run at a space. You know, I see. I'm looking at Ohio and his SUV coming up there. I'm trying to set my speed to where I can, and there's an open spot behind you. I'm trying to set my speed so you can go ahead and let you go ahead and then I fall in right behind you. But these daggum cars now will fly up, and they do not know how to merge. They automatically just fly up, and they will stay in the merge lane until. I mean, if it was the other way around, I'm in the truck. I've seen you coming on. I see it's going to be a conflict. I let off the fuel just a little bit to try to let you build a space, but then that guy flies out to the end of the merge lane and then slams on his brakes. Then I'm the one screwed because I mean,
Another thing I hate is people that ride the right-hand lane and don't let people merge. Like, I know it's not your responsibility to let merging traffic.
No. You're using the wrong terminology. And you're law enforcement, you're using the wrong terminology.
Yeah.
It's called yielding. There's a yield sign when you come onto every interstate. It's called a yield sign, not a merge. It's not a merge. A merge is you go, I go, you go, I go.
Ours says merge.
Well, ours says yield.
Yeah, well, you're in fucking Massachusetts. They do everything stupid.
They said that in New Orleans too. All the entrance ramps said yield, and there would be a line of dead stop traffic trying to get in the 70 mile an hour fucking traffic.
Too bad. So you know what they did now? You know what they do now? They're doing a lot of the highways, and they're on the off ramp. They'll have a lane with a dotted white line that goes about quarter mile. You
Yeah,
can
like
stay in
the zipper conflict.
No, it's not the zipper lane for the. It's not the zipper lane. Well, we call it zipper lane. It's totally different. I'll explain that later. But it's a lane where technically you don't have to yield or merge, right? It's your own lane. So I'm already on the interstate right here. You're coming on. As long as you stay in that lane, okay?
Oh yeah,
you're
you
good.
get your own right. It turns into the right hand lane,
and then it turns into that lane, and I'm already in, and then you can come in, okay? But not every off ramp has that.
Well, what I'm talking about is I know it's not. If you're in the right hand lane, and someone's trying to enter onto the ramp and come down the ramp and get over, I know that you do not have to yield to the person merging on. It's their responsibility to get on the freeway correctly.
Correct.
But I never ride the right-hand lane. If I'm in the right-hand lane and I come across an on-ramp where people are trying to get on, first chance I do is I get over to the middle lane. That way they got the whole fucking lane to come on.
Yeah, but
because if you don't do that, then you fuck traffic all up.
Yeah, but at 5 p.m. at night, that ain't going to happen, Ohio.
Let me explain that to you, Ohio. Okay, Ohio used to be 65 mile an hour for cars. Then they went to 70 mile an hour for cars, and trucks were stuck at 55 mile an hour going across the state of Ohio unless you was running the turnpike. Okay, so in other words, the truck. Am I supposed? I mean, just because the car is trying to get on the interstate, I'm not going to jump out in my running 55 mile an hour. I can't jump out in that.
I'm not talking about semis. I'm not talking about semis.
I mean, if I jump out in that left lane, I'm running 55 mile an hour. I'm gonna get a car right up my ass.
Yeah, you're gonna fuck things up worse. I'm not talking about semis. I'm talking about 4-wheelers, and
Yeah,
so, but if it was up to me, I wouldn't allow fucking semis to get out of the right-hand lane.
Yeah, you get that right. What's your channel name? It's tough on the trucks.
Yeah.
I let them in. Ohio.
I always if I'm in the right-hand lane and I can't get over. If I'm in the right-hand lane and I can't get over to the middle lane, I always let a semi in or a big box truck or rider truck.
All of this could be avoided right now if the assholes had flying cars like they promised us.
Yeah.
Way back in the 70s.
Here's the third time I mentioned it this weekend.
Oh wait,
if we was at Jetsons where everything we had flying cars and maids on wheels and
but also look at the Jetsons.
Oh, hey, 2 ATVs. Did you ever see Ohio on the Jetsons? No, right? Fucking future looks good, don't it? But
listen. Let me tell you about the Jetsons though. If you ever pay attention, okay, meet George Jetson, right? Jane, his wife. Look up how old Jane the wife is, because they have a teenage daughter, right? Old George Jetson was a fucking pedophile, dude. If they have a teenage daughter and their age difference, look at their age difference. Look it up on the internet. Fucking how old George Jetson is compared to Jane Jetson or whatever her name was.
It was acceptable back then.
A helping hound. By the way, hi, I'm Mike. But the perfect fucking thing to say there. A lot of them never switch lanes for stopped vehicles. Let me tell you how bad that is. Here in Massachusetts, they only say it for emergency vehicles. So, like, if a cop's pulled somebody over, you have to move over for them. If there's an ambulance, a tow truck, whatever, you have to move over. I do that for anybody. If
All right, I got it right here.
If I'm in the first lane and you're in the breakdown lane, I move over.
I got it right here, Mikey. Ready? George Jetson and Jane Jetson's official ages are 40 and 33.
What's wrong with that?
hang on. Their oldest child, Judy, is 16, which would
Okay.
mean that Jane was around 16 or 17 when she was pregnant with her.
Yep.
The age difference between George was 24 when he impregnated Jane.
Right.
Therefore,
At 17.
that
which would
motherfucker
make-
needs to be in prison
Why?
because she was underage and he was more than fucking
It all
5
depends
years
what
older
state
than her.
they're in.
Put him in cartoon prison.
What state they in? New York City. New York State is 17.
George Jetson's a fucking pedophile
Listen
rapist,
to me.
man. Let's quit
Listen to me.
putting him on a pedestal. He's not a fucking hero. He's not a
17
cartoon
years
hero,
old
man.
in New York.
He's not a cartoon hero.
What does that have
Hell,
to do
George
with
Jetson
no
could
shit.
run for president. Just
What,
saying.
right. You watch the channel name. What is he talking about? This shit.
Then they waited. Then fucking Elroy was 6.5. So there was like a 10-year difference in brother and sister. So there was something going on that fucking shady, man. Like I don't think fucking Elroy is George's because George had dark hair and Elroy's
You
a
want
blonde.
shady?
So
You want shady? How about Gilligan's Island?
Yeah.
The fucking professor was the smartest fucking guy in the world. Can build the whole fucking bicycle, fucking electricity thing, the whole 9 yards, but he couldn't patch a fucking hole in the boat.
all right, I know. Yeah, that's for sure. I agree with that.
Come on. That was a scam. He was banging Ginger and Mary Ann. That was his fucking thing.
He didn't want to get off that
You
damn
know?
island.
Right, I wouldn't want to get off that fucking island either if I had the choice of the girl next door one night and then the fucking saucy vixen the next. That's the best of both worlds right there.
And then he had old grandma and Anna Finn, fucking Mrs. Howell. She
Yeah.
can take her teeth out
She
and get a
paid
gamma.
him.
Yeah,
She
you know
paid
what I
him.
mean?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Shit. She financed his technical college when they got off.
Yeah. But I mean, there's stuff that people don't have any common sense over. That's
Correct.
the thing about it.
That's
I mean-
the whole issue.
Yeah, you
The
don't
one I
have
love
sex
the
with a
most.
17-year-old when you're 24.
No, we're not talking about that. Hey,
We
218
are. I'm done talking about fucking semi trucks and shit. We talk
Oh,
about
good.
goddamn
Are we?
semi driving
Good.
truck every
Hey,
goddamn
hey,
week. Let's talk
Listen to
about
me.
something other than driving fucking semis. We're
Okay.
done talking about it. We're
Shut
gonna
up.
start talking about conspiracy theories.
Listen, no, we're going to start talking about ice fishing.
Oh.
Oh motherfuck!
We're going to
Steve,
start
this
talking
is
about
your
ice
fucking. Steve, this is your chat. You
Stevie, do
fucking
you
take
like this
command.
ice fishing trap? Do you like this kind, Stevie?
Ohio, you're yelling too much.
Do you like this kind, Stevie?
He wants to talk about pedophiles.
I'm old school. I like the wood.
You like you like the wooden ones?
Oh Lord, have mercy.
I have wood here though, Steve.
Yeah, but
got wood.
I identify as a wood guy, so
All right.
you got to respect that, and you can't say a damn thing.
Oh, I like wood. You got wood. I like wood.
I got
Of
two.
course
boxes.
you like wood.
You want to see some?
What?
I got a couple boxes of wood. I just put labels on. If you want to see some wood,
What?
I
what?
can show it all.
A couple.
That's that
things, right?
X-rated sexy wood.
You guys, dirty mind. Got wood.
I'm
Yeah,
making
right.
a
How
bow
many
out
them
of
traps
Oh
you
my
lost
god.
down the hole?
Hey,
Who's
Steve.
making a bowl
Steve.
out of mulberry?
I don't know who a helping hound is. This is the first time I'm seeing this person. But the first two comments I've seen that this person's made are awesome. And especially the second one. Making a bow out of mulberry.
There you go. Nice.
I'd like to I want to see that on a video. But that'd be awesome, don't you think?
That's some pretty stringy ass wood. It should work.
Mikey, ice fishing's over till next year. Oh, it is, Gerald B? I didn't realize that, buddy.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought there was
Don't forget to renew your license this time.
Buddy, I thought, Gerald B, I thought there was plenty of ice. Jezzo, when do I have to have my moose permanent by? Watch this, I probably fucked it up and lost all my points now.
Wait, hang on. I got to go back and answer Fuzzfork. He said, "Ask Ohio if it's okay for cousin to mate."
Oh shit!
No, it's not okay.
Uh-oh.
They can,
Mike went to
they
look
can,
at-
they can practice. They just can't complete the duty.
Well, in West
And it has to be
Virginia-
like a third cousin. You can't be first or second cousins. That's just
in
you
West
get
Virginia,
them fucking kids with like 3 eyeballs and shit, and then they start talking like like
Well,
It ain't
Well,
got
like Mikey and
gas
shit.
in it.
They think it's okay for cops to go door to door and shut the entire town down. And
well, in West Virginia, if it's old enough to bleed, it's old enough to breed. So I mean,
Oh,
why's
Yeah,
everybody got to pick on West
old
Virginia
shit.
and shit, man? There's more fucking that shit down in Alabama and Missouri and shit than in any other place
Welcome
else.
back, buddy.
I tried to open up my thing for a license, and
I think you're the first person in Ohio that's stood up for West Virginia.
No, most of the people. Listen, I was born and raised in Columbus, and that is a rarity to be actually born there. Normally, when you run into somebody, they're like, "Where are you from?" Oh, they're from fucking West Virginia or Kentucky. They moved to Columbus, Ohio, like 20 years ago or something. It's the West Virginia 3 R's, man. Reading, writing, and Route 23. You know, because they would always come up Route 23, but now they come up 77 and 75 and
Old Route
35. Yeah, we got too many damn import roads now.
23 to 35. So that was always the way to get out of West Virginia, Columbus.
Yeah, I think we ought to build a wall down there. we got the river, but they figured out how to put bridges across it, so we need to build a wall. Make Ohio great again.
Have you been across that damn bridge?
Yeah.
You're lucky to stay on it. I mean, as rough as that damn old bridge is down here. So
There's a bridge that goes from Ohio to West Virginia, like when you're going to Wheeling. I don't know if you've been on it or not, but it's one of those graded ones that you can see through. You know what I'm talking about?
That's on 77 there.
Yeah.
One like that on 77.
Oh my God. First time I went across that, I was like, what the fuck is this? I can see the water.
Yeah.
Holy shit. It's just it's like you're driving across the fucking cheese grater or something, man. You can see right through it.
Yep. But like I said, it's I got Steve's Facebook thing. I'll get. All right. Well, I shouldn't say I got him on Facebook. I can tell you what his name is there, but
so what's the channel name? I don't know.
Delete that email. What's your channel's name? I got it copied.
he said he deleted it, so nobody don't mess with it. So you don't get a bunch of spam.
No shit.
He said, Helping Hound says he's got a 25-foot tree on the property. Internet says that it's top 5 bowwood. That must be fucking awesome, dude. I'm sorry, Stevie.
No, keep going.
I just think that's really excellent to do, and I'm trying to get to where I can go to a Helping Hounds channel, because again, this is the first time I've ever seen the channel. So
They build bows out of yew, don't they?
Yep.
You can build them out of Yule.
That's old school.
What's his name? Built his out of ash, I believe.
Osage orange.
That's a beautiful one.
I still want to one day build my own bow and actually kill a deer with it. That would be epic. I've made my own arrows. I haven't got to the bow yet.
Well, I've killed my first deer with a 91 Chevrolet pickup truck. But, I mean,
Mountain Bushcrafters Alliance. What's up?
Yeah.
No way, hey Mountain Bushcrafters, what's going on, man?
Hey, Mountain Bushcrafters.
Heck yeah.
Great channel.
Swamp Donkey 530. Damn, he always shows up in the evening.
Who asked what wood you can use for
bows?
For bows?
Almost.
You can use.
The main thing is you can use almost any wood. It's how long the bow will last.
So I found this site. It's called deerhuntingguide.net, and it said, "What is the best wood for making a bow?"
Be right back. I gotta kiss my girl.
All right. Good night, Susie.
Good night.
Susie.
So there's 12 choices for the best wood to make a bow. One is Osage orange. Osage, sorry. Number 2 is red oak. I got plenty of those here. Number 3 is maple.
And the noodles are stuck together.
It's okay. Hot water.
Okay.
Number 4 is hickory.
Hickory.
Number 6 is I'm probably gonna fucking pronounce this wrong. Yew.
Yep. Yew.
Y-E-W.
Yew.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
what was 5?
I thought I did 5 already.
You said number 4. and
No,
then you
3
went
was
6.
maple. 3 was maple. 4 was I said hickory. 4 was hickory. Oh, 5. I'm sorry, you're right. Number 5 was ash.
Ash.
I knew ash was good. Hue. Number 7 would be eastern red cedar.
Really?
Yep. Number 8
That's an
is
interesting one.
Number 8 is birch. Number 9 is ipe. I-P-E.
Not familiar.
Yeah, because native to South America. That's
Oh,
why. 10 is bamboo. 11 is dogwood. I wouldn't have thought that either.
That stuff is hard as shit.
And there was number 12 is plum.
Plum. What was number 1 again? I'm sorry.
Sure. Number 1 would have been
Osage.
Osage.
Osage is like the best.
Orange
to make it out of?
Osage. Osage orange is what.
Yeah. An Osage bow is like coveted.
Osage orange gets its common name from the Osage Native Americans who first used it in East Texas, as well as southern Arkansas and Oklahoma.
And it's in Michigan too. Now.
Hey Stevie, I just came across a meme of it's like the Joker from Batman, and he's running.
Yeah.
And it says me leaving the FUD range and letting a few 30-06 loaded with pistol powder on the bench. We lost Mikey. He went to click X on his
one
website.
mulberry and one magnolia. Cool. Well, he's back again.
Jesus Christ. I started.
Hey, right in the same spot. Good for you.
Right.
Yeah, I tried making a rough one out of dogwood, and it split and splintered on me.
Oh yeah.
So dogwood, you might have to wrap. Of course, it wasn't cured either. It was, I was a kid. I chopped it down and carved it out, and it went.
Yes, Jezzo, May 15th. I looked it up.
But I have some big, thick hunks of lumber that a guy gave me years ago. He said it was Osage.
Yeah.
I think it's mulberry. They both end up with the same color.
I'm trying to think of what, if you go on Brian, what is Brian saying? So I'll have to go check.
Right on Helping Hound. I already had to scrap one because of knots.
One of Working Class Woodsman's good friends, Brian, up in New Hampshire. He does have a YouTube channel.
He said ash is number 5.
Yeah, Ashworks Mountain Bushcrafters is like number 5. That's where he made his out of, was ash. And this guy in New Hampshire. And he did it the old way. They went down, they cut the ash tree down, he split it the old way. He used, I don't know how many fucking wedges, right? And he split that fucking thing right in half.
Gotcha.
I mean, that's an art to be able to do that, in my opinion. But
No. Well,
but anyway, he made his bow, and it came out beautiful. That I mean, you be able to do that. You that's awesome craftsmanship. Anyways, I don't. First of all, I don't have the tools to do it. But I don't know if I'd have the confidence to do it, even if I had the fucking tools. You know.
well, that's what kind we used to play with. We'd break a daggum hickory limb or whatever, and just stick us a string down through it, and we could shoot it probably 10 feet. That's far we could get it.
But red oak, you don't get much hotter than red oak.
No,
That I don't.
I don't see it bending that much, to be honest.
Woo.
I mean, I don't see red oak being able to bend enough to,
Right.
not flexible enough. It was splintered before you pulled it that far.
And if it does bend, I'll tell you what, you're gonna get some good fucking what do you call it out of that bow?
Some splinters,
No, some good
tension, or
feet per second.
yeah.
You know, Mike, the only thing that's stopping you from doing things like making bows is you. Just gotta jump in.
Well, I don't. But I don't. I don't even have the tools to do it though, Steve. You know what I mean? So it's, you know, I would need. Let me see.
You need a tall tree and a piece of string.
Yeah.
Wow, you're just like a southerner. You're not even like an Ohioan anymore. You're just a fucking southerner.
At least I
Hey,
have
I
Ours in my
resemble that remark.
vocabulary.
I know, but on ATVs, you got to remember when I make fun of the South, I don't make fun of people I like. I'm making fun of everybody else that I don't know. You know what I mean?
But yeah, it's
Helping Hound's going to use a machete to do it. I wonder if that machete's going to be an orange, like Parang style.
What percentage of having the perfect piece of wood? I wonder what the chances are of finding the perfect piece of wood. And it doesn't matter we're talking ash or Osage orange and all that.
Right.
Got to be a real. You got to have an eye for the right piece of wood.
Correct.
yeah.
Yeah, the guy I watched do it, he's to the point where he can look at the tree and you follow the bark line and stuff and make sure the tree doesn't have a twist in it
Correct.
and things like that. If the bark's all wavy, then the grain's going to be all funky and wavy. So
Which sometimes makes for a nice. Sometimes the
Yeah.
grain, a wavy grain, will make for a as Stevie will tell you, will make for a beautiful bow, whatever. Bat, baseball bat, fucking
Yeah,
bow.
bow.
but the main thing is when you're splitting your staves, you have to go with the natural grain, because if you like mechanically split it like on a saw,
Right.
and you go across the grain, then that would just snap.
Snap.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying. Brian was doing it with an axe and wedges, splitting
Yeah.
it down the center.
Yeah.
He saw the crack go this way, he'd put the wedge this way and tap it, boom, the thing would split that, and he stayed straight through the whole process. That's why I was amazed by that. Gerald B, you don't actually have to let it sit for years, by the way. You do not have to let the wood sit for years.
You have to let it cure.
Not for years. These guys cut the tree down. These guys cut an ash down and did it right from there.
They may have skipped and showed you we cut the tree down, we cut out the blanks, we made the bow. That bow could have actually been made out of older blanks. If there was a cut in the film, it has to cure.
Let me see if I can find that video for you.
Now, if you need an emergency bow, yeah, you can grab a branch off a tree and string it. It might only last for 5 or 6 shots.
Yeah, that's
But
us as kids. was us as kids, and we it would last as long as the regular string. We had kite string, so I mean kite string pulling kite string back, the strings would break. So I mean
Yeah.
it wouldn't last long, but I've sat there and whittled out a sharp point on a hickory stick or whatever I could get my hands on. A lot of times, a straight one, just sit there and whittle it out, and then go out and destroy it.
Right on. He's gonna make the bowstring and everything. He's braiding hemp and udder balm.
Say it again. He's braiding hemp and what?
He's going to use udder balm.
Bag balm.
To put on the string or to put on the bow?
They put it on the string.
Right on, redneck prepper. You have to look at the grain.
Yeah.
And I've seen those wavy, curvy bows, but they're usually for like show, not necessarily for hunting or everyday use, because they tend to break easily. That's why they started laminating bows with, fiberglass or snakeskin or leather to help stop them from splintering and stuff.
How many of you got to take archery class in school before they canceled it?
Oh, I did.
Yep.
Well, it was part of our gym class.
Yeah.
I wish.
We had, it was part of our 4-H thing. That's what we did.
What was cool is they allowed us to bring our own bows in if we had them, so that was sweet.
No shit.
Yeah, I was allowed to, because I had a Ben Pearson with the 75-pound draw on it, and it was a recurve Ben Pearson recurve with 75-pound draw, so it was
cheese and rice.
What grade were you in?
Must have been a big kid.
10th grade.
Well, back when I was in high school, we could have our damn hunting rifles and everything else hanging up in the back of the pickup truck. So
yeah,
I mean, they put you under the damn jailhouse if you did something like that nowadays. But
yeah, no shit.
Well, we had there was a conservation club next to our school, and we had an actual rifle team that was sponsored through them or whatever. And me and 3 other guys, we were part of the small bore rifle team that we would bring our guns to school. We just had to check them in at the office in the morning. And then we'd go pick up when last bell rang. We'd go down to the office and pick them up, and then we'd walk out to the range and practice.
Right on, Swamp Donkey. Cheers to the old days. The place I used to work in was a private school. They had a gun range in the freaking basement.
We had a gun range at my high school in Warren.
Really?
Underneath the pool.
No
That's where I
kidding.
learned how to shoot gun.
Cool.
In high school.
Susie said she had a shooting range in her school when she was a kid, high school.
Awesome.
Under the pool, which sounds scary. One shot in the ceiling and whoosh.
Back of the school or something. I want to know if it was in that area.
Yeah, why is the pool closed down? It's in repair.
You guys ever seen that short video of that hotel pool breaking out into the parking garage? It was like instantaneous. They had a pool at a hotel, and underneath it was a parking garage, and it was on video, from the security cameras.
Oh, just dumped all the water in the garage.
Yeah, one shot, no drip.
That happened with that tower that collapsed in Florida a year or 2 ago. Crazy.
Pretty scary stuff. Uh-oh. Mike's going down the rabbit hole looking at bows.
No, I'm looking for that. I'm looking for the gentleman's name, and I can't find it on my subscription.
Well,
list.
your guy,
I don't know who you call.
what the hell, the Practical Sportsman? What the hell is your friend's name? He built a bow on his channel.
Working Class Woodsman.
Yeah.
But I don't think Brian had a channel back then, and I don't know if Ed finished. Let me see.
I think they end up finishing the bow. He was working with that older guy.
Yeah, that older guy has a channel, and that's the channel I'm looking for.
Gotcha.
Well, I mean, that there's a guy on here that makes walking sticks, and Stennett is his name's Stennett Sticks, and he does amazing daggone snakes and all kinds of stuff sitting on top. Makes a walking stick like, well, show him up there, Steve.
Here's one of mine that I made for my ex-wife's grandfather.
Yeah, he does it. Like I said, he
It's a little dusty, but it's nice and shiny when it's clean.
that's nice, but yeah. But I mean, this guy, he sat right there and carved one out.
Right on.
And he makes them look like actual real snakes and all that stuff. So snakes or rats or birds or whatever out in the
Damn. I'm looking up these old recurves, the old Ben Pearsons. Mine was a javelin or javelin. What's it called? Javelina. I don't know. But I'm looking at them. They're all like fucking $200, $300 now, like on eBay. I think I gave mine away because I wasn't using it anymore.
Whoops.
Some bit. Here's a Ben Pearson Cougar. How much is that?
All right. I don't know.
175.
Mike, if you go to Working Class Woodsman
I found it.
Oh, okay.
I found it, but copy.
Just paste it in the YouTube side.
Yeah, I gotta go back to your channel now.
Yeah, right on, Helping Hound. I've had a few bows break from the 70s and 80s or 60s. They just get dried out in a week.
I have a wooden bow sitting right beside me. It needs a lot of work.
The first thing you have to do,
I'll show it to you in 1 minute.
String it is moisturize.
All right, so if you guys go to that's the video that starts it all for making the bow.
Cool.
If you're interested, that is. That gentleman that Stevie was talking about, the older gentleman, he has his own channel. If you guys come to my chat Friday night, if I have one, I'll have his name by then. If not, I'll have it for you on Saturday. Helping Hound. If not, I will get a hold of Stevie to get a hold of you. This is a nice orange. This is a nice wooden bow.
Browning?
Yep. Yep, it is. It just needs some work, you know. Yep.
If it's wood, moisturize before you start yanking on it.
I moisturize. Oh yeah, well that's what they always say. I moisturize my dick the same way, you know, before I start yanking on it too. I mean, you know. Send you a link. You didn't know I streamed. What's the channel name? Just click on my. I'm right above where I put that. I'm right above where you just put that comment. That's me, Mikey DeLucia. And you'll see it on Friday nights. I usually do one on Friday nights, pretty much.
Well, that's when I do mine. So
The last 2 times I've been sick. The last 2 weeks I've been sick. What's your channel name? So, but mine's later than yours. You do yours at like 7 o'clock or something, don't you?
Yeah, I've moved it to 8:30 now because of the.
Oh, all right. Well,
Because-
mine I don't
you
do till
don't
about
you
10.
don't realize that you don't realize the chat etiquette of not doing a
Yeah.
chat when other people are having chat.
What's the matter with you?
God,
Hey guys,
you
I'm
know,
out.
you know,
All right, good night.
Friday
Steve.
nights.
Good
Good
night,
night,
Steve.
Steve.
Good night, Shalisa. I'm right behind you too, by the way.
Take care, you guys.
It's 1:20 a.m.
That would
Yeah,
have
we're out of here. I have homemade stroganoff to go eat and homemade
Oh,
biscuits. Yeah,
I don't think
gonna gain some weight tonight when I go to sleep with a full belly.
Right?
All right, everybody, we're getting out of here. Thanks for everybody. I want to talk to Helping Hound a little bit more about bows and shit. That's cool. Have a wonderful night. Well, we end up 308 comments.
Nice.
That's cool. You guys keep it rocking. Thanks everybody for showing up. Play
Have a nice night.
Watch each other's videos.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.